streaming to YouTube. YouTube, you are now live. Welcome to the stream. Okay, YouTube, you did miss a little bit of news, so I recommend you check out the Twitch VOD. Unfortunately, that is my bad, YouTube. But we are live. We are live. But yeah, so basically, lots to expect going into next week, not this week. I'm busy as hell this week. Okay, but short stream today. I'm gonna have time for like 3 VODs probably, and then we're gonna have to wrap it up. Because I need to just go to bed. I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. Oh, I should have said something. Well, I checked YouTube and thought it was Twitch only today or something. No, that's my bad. I normally do YouTube. The way I have it set up. Sorry, let me move around to the simulation. The way I have it set up is that there's a plugin on OBS. It's called like multi-stream or something, and I have to press the start button for YouTube. So that was just my bad. But yeah, so that's kind of what to expect. I do have another announcement I want to make, but I am not ready for that yet. So I need some more time to work on that, and then I will make another announcement. But yes, please keep your eyes peeled. The number one thing to take away from what I was just talking about is if you have a spreadsheet and you have seen success, please leave a testimonial in the Discord about your success. That would be very, very helpful to me. The more I have, the better. So I would greatly appreciate you guys taking your time to write down 2 to 3 sentences. I would really appreciate that. But yes. So if you guys have not already entered the raffle, please go ahead and do so. Do you need a screenshot for it as well? That would be greatly appreciated. That would be greatly appreciated if a screenshot was included. Because keep in mind, these are almost all of them are going to go into the video. Okay? Because I need to show people that is where it works. Because here's basically the hook. Okay? Let me see if I have it. I was working on it before stream. Basically, the hook is... Okay, this is still work in progress, but hold on, let me find it. Okay. Guys, this is the dry run. Give me feedback. This is the most overpowered way to get better at Overwatch. And the best part about it is that it's not just some forgettable tip or trick. It's an actual super useful system that helps you improve permanently. All players from bronze to top 500 will see benefits from this, and it will never get patched by Blizzard. So by now, you're asking, what is it? What is this miracle that will improve your rank? Just like all my other students who have tried it. Oh, fuck, I fucked up the flow. But anyways, what I would cut to is, it's a spreadsheet. And before you click off the video, hear me out. And then it's fucking listing through all of your guys' testimonials of the spreadsheet being successful. Okay. Do you guys see the vision or what? I hope you see the vision there. I need to work on the hook. It's not perfect. I literally spent 10 minutes on it, so... But yeah. That's the idea. Want to use me as clickbait? I need all of you guys to use this clickbait. That's what I need. I need 20 testimonials so I can scroll through all of them. Vision is seen. That's what I needed to hear. I think it'll work. I think it'll be about like a 10-minute video where I just need to find a way, because I also need to explain how to use this spreadsheet. I recorded a tutorial and it lasted like the tutorial itself was like 8 minutes. I need to make it shorter somehow. I need it to be like 5 minutes, so the rest of the time I can explain why that you need to use a spreadsheet. I didn't track my GM to champ. We'll start tracking it. You gotta start tracking it. We got, I think, 60 seconds left on the raffle, by the way. Yeah, we got 45 seconds left. Okay, also, for the record, after this tutorial is done, I'm going full-time Worminator. Full-time Worminator. We got to get this thing up and running. We need to make it where the raffles are a lot more apparent. It's easier to see when a raffle is happening. And then I also need some, like, automation stuff, like... My OBS automatically updates because I always forget to update it. I do know that there's some like I forgot what the term is. I'm not really good at like GitHub and version control, but I know there's some people that are contributing to the open source project, and I appreciate that. I just haven't had a chance to look at it yet. And fix the chatbot spam? Yeah, we need to fix that. It's a little bit I mean, it's like good and bad at the same time. But yeah, I need to fix it. I need to work on it. Bomb Man, congratulations, you've been selected for coaching. Let's do great things. Let's do great things. It's been a while since we've seen a Bomb Man VOD, so it's just going to be great for the soul. Let's check this out. Let me open up Discord. No, I'm not making Firefox my primary browser. Okay. Bug Nation. We need coaching request. What? We're looking for a Bomb Man. Bomb Man. Here it is. Lijiang Tower? Yes, I believe it is Lijiang Tower. Okay. So this is going to be platinum on Lijiang Tower from Bomb Man. Had an interesting start. Me and the Reaper did like a little dance before I ratted and flipped the map. Or I'd love to see that. Then I stayed on the right side while my team locked down main. I think my timing was okay, but I was also a bit hesitant at the start because it was in front of their spawn, okay? Overall, I tried new things, especially on the market, and it worked out for the most part. Tried flipping the map a ton and felt like I had a lot more impact on the game. But overall, I think I could work on my timing a bit more. Then on the last point, I couldn't fight their supports as much because their Soldier and Hanzo were marking you. What should I do when this happens? Also, do I play the Doom matchup like a Diva one, or should I play more riskily or play near my tank more since the map is so small? I also watched your video on Lijiang and tried those things. I'm almost timing. Well, first of all, congratulations. This is awesome. If you guys don't know, Bomb Man was first joined the community, I think, in gold. I don't know how far in gold you were, but this is fantastic growth. Congratulations. We'd love to see that. So nice. So to answer your question about the Doomfist matchup, so the only matchups in the entire game where you generally play Cassidy different is into dive tanks and heroes with speed boost. Okay, it's these two situations. Dive tanks include Doom. So in the Doom matchup, you will need to play a little bit more careful. Okay, you do counter Doomfist to some extent, as in you can, you know, flashbang his engage, but that he inadvertently will shut down your playmaking, right? Which is the flank heavy playstyle that I always recommend you guys. So you will find yourself preferring main into Doomfist. Okay, so I will mention that. Okay, let's check out the spreadsheet as well. Okay, how have we been playing the game recently? We did take a break. Okay, we took a break for a while and we have returned to the game. This is exactly why you keep a spreadsheet, by the way. Bomb Man is Delta 23. That's actually insane. Nice job. You have the new spreadsheet. Oh, okay. Is this the new one? Oh, yeah, it is. Made before tracker. Okay, bet. Let me check the summary tab out. Yeah, we haven't played in a while. We've returned to the game, which is good, but we took a break for a while. Map spread looks normal. We one-trick Cassidy, basically. Only play DPS. But yeah, playing out 3 games a week. Fine. Oh, sorry, 3 days a week. And then notes. I had a bad game. I was bullied by Tridstar game, and I just felt like she knew where I was aiming or what my plan was. I tried to stay in main near the end. And it worked a little better, but okay. The start was really good. I was holding angles and flanking a lot. I was messing with their Weaver the whole game. I did not want to help in third attack. We cannot take space or put out enough pressure to get past first point. I think I should have switched just doing minimal. I thought I had good flanks and okay. I mean, all these notes look good to me. I actually don't mind them. Just a reminder, try to be as intentional as possible with your notes. If there's something you think you could have tried or done better, always try to mention it. Because keep in mind, the idea with your notes is not to be perfect and have a perfect analysis of your game or what you got wrong or whatever. It's to get you thinking, what could you have done better? What went wrong? Stuff like that. I've been busy with school. Yeah, no problem. No issue at all. When we were stuck on first, yeah, questions look good too. Okay, you're on the right track. All of this looks good to me. Delta 19 from start, -2 on the week. That's fine, no big deal. Plus rank 3 is huge progress. Crying with +7. I mean, you shouldn't base your self-worth based on someone else's growth. You should base it on yours. being +7 is better than being -7. So we take that W any day of the week. So no point comparing your journey to someone else's. Okay. Let's take a look here. Import, bada bing, bada boom. Tail resolve. Actually, W sketchy call here. I do need to resolve that. Thank you. I'm not too late, am I? Bright Star, you are unfortunately late to the first drawing, but there will be more. There will be more this stream. Okay. By the way, chat, if I am not drawing or demonstrating, beat me up. Okay. I need, for the sake of having better content, I need to also turn this to plat. For the sake of having better content, it is very important that I demonstrate things, whether I draw them or fly to them using my camera, or I actually show them in game. Okay, so please help me should it arise. I saw a tutorial on how to do this. I think it's like modes, control, limit valid control point. Yeah, this is how you do it. But I don't remember which one is which. Is this one? What did we start on here? We start on this one, okay. This is night. Okay, so number 1 on Lijiang is night market. Bet. Okay, I need to go to modes, control, second, restart. Yeah, it's super roundabout to get the control maps you want. Yeah, it's this is only slightly better than just re-rolling the map, the lobby 10 times until you get what you want. So, unfortunately, I mean, if I knew which one was which, then it wouldn't be that bad, but I just don't know. Okay, so we're on the map we need. Okay, so let's talk briefly about how to play Control Center as Cassidy. Hey, tell us when to ask when the Deadeye video is coming out. That's a great question. I don't even know when the Deadeye video is coming out. I'm gonna be honest. The Deadeye video. Okay, let me just address this real quick, and then I'll get back on track here. The Deadeye video is a project that I was working on a long time ago. I started working on it like 2 months ago, and then what ended up happening is I didn't render. I laid out a bunch of the footage in Premiere. And then when I was cleaning out space to be able to save more footage, I deleted a lot of the footage that I had used in that original video. So basically, all of the clips I had are now lost forever, and I'd have to get all the footage again. So, and that's not really anybody's fault but mine. I just kind of fumbled the bag as a creator there. So that's my bad. The Deadeye video is not going to come out for a while. What will come out is the spreadsheet tutorial, and I'm making a guide on doubling up. Both of those things are in progress. Okay, so unfortunately, it's not gonna come out for a while. So sorry about that, Lazed. But thank you for asking. Yeah, that's my bad. I will work on it, but I got other projects to have to finish. Yeah, it's getting put on the back burner because I fucked it up originally. Tablecloth, good to see you, by the way. Okay, let's get back on track here. Let's talk about Control Center. How do you play Control Center on Lijiang as Cassidy? So there's 2 schools of thought in your approach to this map. School of thought number 1 is you're going to come left side and you're going to clear this space for your team, and then either just have an angle onto the main fight here in this room, or you're going to continue wrapping into the enemy spawn. These are kind of your 2 ideas. The time that this flank is going to be very good for your team when you come to this left mega room is when you know they're playing a flex DPS that likes to angle a lot. So something like a Genji or a Tracer or a Sombra or something like that. And they're not playing a dive tank. So if you know they're going to play like a Domina, for example, or a Sigma, it's actually better for you to come into this room because you're not really able to get zoned from this position, and you're able to zone out enemy flex DPS from here. So for example, if you came left side, you're going to stop the enemy Tracer from taking this position, and then you can control the space for your team and shut down her playmaking. So it's actually quite strong. Alternatively, if you don't want to go for a play like that, so if you know they're playing something like Diva, it's going to be more advantageous for you to come into this room, which some people call white room, and then fight in this neutral with your team. If this is lost or the enemy team has taken this space before you, you can just wrap the point side here and look for something this way. By the way, this is my worst map, and I watch your video and gain so much information, especially on night market. We love to hear that. Okay, so let's look at the gameplay here. Let me also fix the settings. before we get too much deeper here. Boom, bang. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we are playing into Doomfist Reaper, so I'm interested to see how this pans out. We instantly come right side. Okay. So, I actually love this from you. Instantly come right side. You hear the Reaper main, and you don't hear anyone else on your right. So, you come right side and fill the empty space. I'm actually okay with that. Okay, so a little bit of a strange situation here. I would go for the fight on the Reaper. Okay, when you have the advantage, which is basically here, you hit this headshot. This needs to ring a bell in your mind that this is a winning fight for you. Okay, we should be taking this fight now that you've hit a headshot. So I would be egoing him. Yeah, I would be egoing this guy. I'd be swinging wide like this. Boom. Go for the flashbang, or at least try to shoot him with the idea of, if I don't hit the flash or something like that, I'm just going to roll away and grab the mega. But this fight is winning for you after you hit the headshot. I would definitely not be scared of this guy. And I guess you do try to take the fight, but it just ends up being that he doesn't swing you. Whatever. We go right side, and then the fight's already lost. Whatever. I think your idea here was okay. It's a little bit unfortunate how things panned out because of just timing issues. Whenever you swung, you didn't actually see anybody in main, so you thought you could make the rotation. Whatever. I'm not too opposed to that. This is console, by the way, guys. It doesn't make any difference in how you play the game. But, just letting people know. Nice job. On that, we could have had slightly better cover usage, but honestly, it's not a big deal. Okay, we stage on the right side of the map. Okay, so this is a play that I don't really mind that much. It's okay, but I only don't mind this play when the enemy team is basically about to push main, because here's the problem. So you are swinging the angle now, and I want you to notice that you are swinging the angle as, number one, 2 people on the enemy team are dead. And number 2, your team is still basically, I mean, they're in Narnia. They're really far away from the choke point. They're not holding close to the door. So here's what's going to happen. In situations like this, let's imagine that we are the Reaper, okay? If we are enemy team Reaper and we just lost the fight, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're resetting, and we are going to use this downtime to take a strong position, right? So instead of just standing here and inspecting our guns, we're going to be smart and start taking a position. So we're going to come top left and then, you know, take this and then help our team clear choke when they all respawn. Okay. So this guy's going to start coming top left, but also the Doomfist and the Jetpack Cat are about to respawn. And what are they going to do? They're going to walk out of main, and coincidentally, they're going to see that you are going to be fighting the Reaper in 2 to 3 seconds. Okay. So because it's now convenient for them to come mark you, they will come mark you, okay? It's very fortunate that you end up just one-shotting the Reaper. But I say all this to give you insight into you are too early in taking this angle. You need to wait until the enemy team respawns and they start to swing choke or push through choke. That way, whenever you swing this door, it's no longer convenient for the enemy team to mark you, right? Look how far away you would be if they're in the choke, you know, fighting to take space. Anyway, you're just too early here. I needed you to have slightly better awareness here. Anyway, good kill. But right, look at this from the Doomfist perspective. He sees look at this ping on the left side. He sees Cassidy and his Reaper is dead. If this guy was slightly more aware, he'd be coming left side. And guess what? You have no cooldowns to take that fight. So a better player just kills you. I was going to rat, but Reaper was there. Well, that's the problem. If you're going to rat, okay, I don't really mind the idea of ratting here. I mean, first of all, you shouldn't be ratting because the rule is first and second fight, you don't rat. I mean, I guess this is the 3rd fight technically, so maybe. But either way, we shouldn't really be ratting this early into the game. But more importantly, you should cancel your idea of ratting once a guy shows up here, right? You got the benefit of being on the angle by killing the Reaper. Now we need to leave. So yeah, I don't like you sitting in this position after you get that Reaper kill. On average, you should die here. Better players will just kill you here. And then you should see that your team is fighting, right? Even though your team is up 1, look at what's happening. Read your team's body language. Your Ryan is backing up into choke. Your Sierra is critical health, right? You hear the Doomfist in main. We need to be swinging the angle right now. You're way too late here. You're not comprehending what is going on with your team by looking at their silhouettes to the wall. So this is poor awareness. It's a good idea, for the record. I actually really enjoy this play, but we needed to do this way earlier. Your team, on average, dies here and loses the fight just because you're not there. Okay. Otherwise, good play. I think doing this play a second time is a little bit crazy, but... Because here's the problem, right? You have gotten value from this angle twice. And the big issue with this play is that your rotation out of this position is quite long. So I want to show you real quick. If I emulate the position you're in, which is, let me see. Okay, you are 1, 2, 3, 4. You are 1, 2, 3, 4. You are literally right here, right now. Okay, so let's say the Reaper swings me, and I have to leave the angle. 1, 2, 3. It takes me about 3 seconds with roll to even get to this corner to use. And even then, once I'm at this corner, there's no safe position from here. So let's see. So, okay, so if I go back to where you were, just to demonstrate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it takes about 6 to 7 seconds, unironically, to get to a position that's safe, right? That's the problem with this angle, is it's way too dangerous, right? If you're gonna play a position like this means that you're going to hard commit to whatever you're doing here. So when the Reaper comes and swings you, I don't want to see you bail and try to leave. I want to see you all in this guy. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna flash fan, roll through him, deadeye cancel, like, I don't know, figure it out. But you are so extended on this angle that the only thing you can do is commit. Okay. So I don't like this angle, number one, because it's too, the rotation out is bad. And number two, if you are gonna play this angle, we should be all-inning. Yeah, like, I don't like this from you at all. You should have all-inned on the Reaper here. Okay, so we're playing the angle again. Okay. We're waiting for the guy to swing us. Okay, I mean, that's cool. You should be getting cleared here, for the record. This Doomfish should be killing you. Good kill. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I really liked your idea here. I do. I just think that you didn't get punished properly by the enemy Doomfist. I think if you were in a higher elo lobby, you would have died there on average. If you're gonna play an angle like that, you likely shouldn't be repeating that play multiple times after you get value, especially the first time into that matchup. But if you are gonna play that angle, your idea should be to all in. I'm surprised the Reaper didn't smoke him out that angle. Yeah, like, I don't know. They just ignored him. I don't really know why. Okay, so also on this rollout here. Okay, so going into the garden point. So let me just briefly show you how to play. Let me demonstrate how to play garden here. Lijiang. Let me just get back on Lijiang. And then modes, control. It was 2, right, guys? Yeah, it was 2. Second. Let me just show you guys really briefly how to do this. I knew they were playing Doom, so I didn't roll across the gap. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But let me just show for the people that might get this in the video. How you play Night Market is super easy. Or not Night Market, Garden. On Garden, you want to prefer this rotation, which is you... Oh my fucking god. Okay, you're not going to do that, first of all. You're going to actually make the roll across the gap. The ideal rotation is to roll across the gap and then set up for a rotation on the left side of point. Oh my goodness gracious. My Chungus champ cast streamer. Yep, that's me. Here's what you do. You jump and then you roll late into the jump. Okay, you don't fall off the map. And then you come left side and you look for this play. This angle is extremely strong. Okay. So the only time you don't do this roller cross is in 2 situations. You know they're playing a dive tank, number 1, or number 2, your other DPS, like let's say you're playing with a tracer, your ally tracer is already going that way. Okay, in either of those situations, you want to go right side instead, with the idea of either using this cover here and just poking people as they walk, or rotating into hut and looking for playing around angles like this. Okay, either one. It doesn't really matter. You have to just read the situation on what's going to be better. You're not going to, like, you don't want to prefer angles like this when you're outranged. So let's just say they're playing a Freya or a Sojourn. You're not really going to want to prefer this angle. But if you are outranging the enemy team, you can just stand at the back of the map, right? Like if they're playing double flex DPS, for example, you could just stand back here and do 1 billion damage. So you'll just have to read the situation, but those are generally the ideas you should be looking for. Anyway. So here we come right side because you're worried about the Doomfist. You know what? I understand that. It's not a big deal. And you clean up the entire fight, right? This is an exact situation where this play ended up being really good, right? We kill 3 people from a single angle. And what Bombman did in this play here was basically a derivative of the idea of just rolling across, right? Rolling across is just a faster way to do this. The way that he did this is just a little bit safer, right? So yeah, I love this from you, Bombman. Cool boy, good to see you. Okay, your Reinhardt is unfortunately off the map. The only thing about this is, I mean, your Rein should have not died, but also you need to match intentions. You see the Doomfist is isolated. Your Rein is going to go fight the Doomfist. Go hop your Rein, fight the Doomfist. Okay, so you didn't match intentions here, and your Rein gets outplayed, but maybe you could have traded him out by killing the Doomfist earlier. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So going into the next fight here. Okay, so I don't really like the way you approach this. Whenever you come to help the Reinhardt, your idea should not be to walk through the door. It should be to go wide on the angle. Because if you walk through the door, you just closer in proximity to the enemy team, and it puts you at risk. Just come right side, and then you're safer, and you can kill the Vendetta. So you just kind of swing the angle wrong. But the idea of killing the Vendetta here is fine. Shoot the Doomfist. And then roll across. Nice. Okay, after this VOD, can you look at my spreadsheet? Yes. Just remind me after. This is fine. Nice flash. Nice job. Okay, you're actually doing everything right now. I actually enjoy you playing here. This is good. I don't like this roll from you. Now that you've rolled, you need to untuck from the angle and come play here. Also, into this matchup, okay, this is the same. This is kind of what you asked about with the Doomfist matchup. You just kind of shouldn't be playing in extremity like this. Whenever you're playing into dive tanks like Doomfist, right? Let me use a different color here. Like Doomfist, like Diva, like Winston. Heroes like this that are extremely fast. And Hazard is another really good example. You don't want to be playing really deep extremities normally, because if they see that you're there or hear that you're there or something like that, they're just going to hard dive you and you're dead. You're dead like 90% of the time. So what you want to do is you want to still play an angle, right? Like, but play closer to your team. So play here, right? If you wanted to play a little bit deeper, you could play on this side, like here, and do something like that. But I don't want to see you play to deny this entire lane, because what the Doomfist could do is just slam here, punch you here, and then now you're screwed because you're blocked off from your team's follow-up. Okay, so that's the only thing I mentioned. So here's exactly how I would play this if I were you in this situation, is I would have capped the point here, and I'd be playing here. I'd be playing this lane. Okay. So I'd be denying the rotation right side because I can just do this, you know, whatever. And it's the same effective idea. The only thing is I'm less likely to convert kills. Like, this angle is a lot higher to convert a kill, of course, right? Because they have to cross the open. You have a really deep angle, and you have minis you can work around as well. But, I mean, you're just more exposed, right? So I just don't really like how aggressive you're positioned right now. The idea of being on the side of the map is correct, though. Okay, good kill on Doomfist. Okay, nice job. Okay, I'm not really sure how you lose this game. I mean, by the way, this is a winning code so far. No, it's still losing. It's losing. Nah, you almost had me. But the way you played the first point, the way you committed to that side angle so much is definitely losing. It's just fortunate that the enemy team didn't punish you for your mistake. Nice job. Yeah, I love this idea, right? I love these kind of ideas. This hard flank, pop out afterwards kind of plays like I'm a really big fan of. Okay, so the only thing about this is you go to grab the mega, you need to leave. You don't have roll. You can't go wide again when this fight. You need to be thinking, I don't have roll. I'm at a disadvantage. I need to get into a position where I'm less likely to die. Going wide is definitely not the answer there, right? So let me just play it in normal speed. We get the kill. We roll for this, whatever. This is the mistake. You hear the Doomfist getting closer to you, and you move right side. You need to be moving left, move back to your team here. So this is a micro error. And now you have roll. You needed to roll through him earlier or something like that, or roll across the gap, either one. It didn't matter, but you needed to get distance between you and this Doomfist. I started a new spreadsheet where I promised to myself I will 100% type notes, new spreadsheet, new me kind of situation. Now, we love to hear that. This is what we need for the GM field boy. Almost had the 5% winning code, exactly. He was so close. I mean, I like... Bomb Man has swag. Like, we've definitely shown Bomb Man the light. We just need a little bit stronger application here. Like, if Bomb Man just played the game more, he would already be diamond. I wouldn't... Actually, if he played, like, 6 games a day, he would have been masters by now. I'm not even joking. He would definitely be that high. Anyway, sorry. We got a little bit off track. We come right side. I don't know if you actually team check, but you end up having really good timing with your team, which is good. I don't like the roll from you. What you should be seeing right now is your team getting engaged on by the Doomfist, right? You can see that from across the map. Also, you shouldn't be rolling because no one's looking at you anyway. So you only want to roll when you're being shot at actively. What we should be doing is we should see that the enemy Doomfist is engaging on our team. We should be like, oh, the enemy team is fighting on bridge. I'm going to take space super aggressively. So you would be dropping here, boom, and then you'd be now making the rotation across. If you're getting contested by this Hanzo and the Soldier, which is very likely to happen, you're just going to occupy them with the idea of continuing your rotation and then like rolling across the gap here, or even going over the bridge or something like that. But we need to be going now. We need to be taking space now. You see Doomfist across the map. That is your cue to continue rotating. Yeah, so you kind of just lose track of what's going on. Your guy ends up dying, and then it's kind of too late to do anything. Yeah, so this was the correct idea. You were just late. And the reason you were late and the way we could have solved that is just through awareness. You know the enemy tank is across the map, and you know that your team is engaging. Make the most of that engagement and take space. Okay. Honestly, you've got the swag, though. Okay, so we come right side. So, by the way, going right side is incorrect here. So the reason going right side is wrong is for 2 reasons. Actually, for a ticket, guys, what are the 2 reasons that coming right side is wrong? Why? Why is coming right side on this map wrong? What's the issue here? Doomfist Soldier, what about them? They can easily clear fast. They have dive. That's what I was looking for from... That's one of them. They have a dive tank, okay? Dive tank means, generally, you want to prefer... you want to only take risky angles when you know where they are and they are across the map, basically. So, but generally, into the raw neutral, especially when we're staging, we should be risk adverse. Okay? So, that's number 1. And then... Ruby is exactly what I was looking for on the other one, which is we are outranged. That's exactly what I was looking for. So nice job, guys. We are outranged. We know that from last map that they're playing Hanzo Soldier. So us coming right side puts us in a situation where we could potentially have a losing gunfight due to range disadvantage. Right? We're going to come right side, and then the Soldier and the Hanzo, like for example, if the Soldier's in main and the Hanzo's in main and we're standing here, are we really going to be doing anything? Okay. The only time we're going to have an advantage against the Soldier and the Hanzo is if we're somehow able to get here unmarked. Very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. Yeah. Nice job, guys. Add ticket. Sketchy, the Ghost 1, Ticket, Ruby, OW1. Okay, nice job, guys. Yeah, you are also isolated for the dive, but I mean, it's specifically because they're the dive tank, right? If they were playing Domina here, it's a lot more excusable because the Domina literally can't even get to you anyway, right? So it's less about being isolated, but it's more about the specific matchup that we're in here. So I'm not a big fan of the position you take. For the record, the ideal rotation in this matchup is to just... You should not even spend time shooting in main because you already know you're outranged. You should just have one swift rotation to the backside of point and play this side of the map. That should be your idea. And then on this side of the map, you have a bunch of different things you can do. You can wrap to their side. You can wrap back if you want. You can just contribute to the neutral. It's up to you to decide what the best play is from there. Yeah, so we come right side. I mean, this is exactly it, right? We come to the right side of the map. The Doomfist died because he misplayed, and then now we're just outranged. You can't even do anything to them in the neutral. Yeah, and then we get... Okay, so now you get actually punished for this. So I want to point out, Bombman, that the way you died here is exactly pretty much how you should have died 1022. This is basically exactly how you should have died when you were playing this position. By the way, or not this position specifically. I mean this position, right? This was an overextension. I don't really mind you playing this door, for the record, on first with the idea of backing up this way to mega. I'm more fine with that. I'm less fine with you playing this extended. But anyway, the way you get punished on this specific angle at 10:33 or whatever the time was is exactly how you should have been getting punished on first point. It's just that this time he kills you. How this guy plat is because he just doesn't play. I mean, I think Bombman is severely underranked right now. Severely underranked. We should at least be down it, for sure. I mean, he also makes a lot of really silly mistakes, like rolling for no reason, but those are really easy. That's really easy to clean up. It's very apparent to me that Bombman actually understands Overwatch, which is really good. And I mean this with all glaze. Like, I mean, this is deserved as well. Bombman has submitted hella codes. Bombman has very obviously put in the work. Bombman keeps his spreadsheet. Like, he deserves his rank. Like, these are the kind of players you guys want to be whenever you're trying to climb in Overwatch. Very intentional and is very clearly seeing the benefits of being so. I dropped hard after starting on Cass. Yeah, you dropped hard because I remember, Bombman, you played Junkrat, right? In Sim or something like that. It was like 2 like off meta heroes, and then you picked up Cassidy, lost a bunch of rank, and now not only have you gained it all back, but you're an even stronger fundamental player. And now if you want to play Junkrat, you can flex that hero. Yeah, Junk Soldier. Yeah, so now everything you've learned on Cass, largely, it's not 1-to-1, but it will largely apply to those heroes. This is making me realize I need to learn more about Overwatch synergy. I get lost on how I should switch up my playstyle based on who I'm up against. Yeah, so this is something that comes up. It's not super common, but there's there's a couple things you need to consider whenever you're thinking about how you play a given hero. Okay, and our example for our community, Cassidy is our given hero. But the number one thing you have to think about whenever you're playing Cassidy is it getting cut off, guys? By the way, it is getting cut off. Okay, wait. Why is it like that? Let me zoom out. Oh, no, it's not getting cut off. It's just my OBS preview is messed up. Okay, my bad. Okay, there's a few things you need to consider. Number one, the most important part of how you play the game is the map. The map very often, most often, I should say, dictates how you play your hero. Because there's some maps, for example, Circuit Royale, where your hero, like Cassidy, literally sucks because you can't do anything. Okay, the map is the number one factor in how you play your hero. Then number two is going to be the enemy team comp. So in Cassidy's situation, the biggest question you have to ask is, are they playing dive tanks? That is the number one question you have to ask. Are they playing dive tanks, or specifically, are they playing Sigma? Those are the two matchups you need to think about. And then the third thing you need to consider is, what is your ally team comp? But this is like, if I had to break down the value of each of these kind of tenants, I should say, the map is like 50% of the battle. The enemy team comp is like 35% of the battle. And then the remaining 15% is your ally team comp, okay? So It's not as big of a contributor, but it does matter sometimes. This is more specifically important, like for Cassidy, for example. If your ally team comp is Lucio Kiri, for example, then that's a little bit of a problem for Cassidy because these are independent supports. And if the enemy team is playing a dive comp, it's really hard for you to live when you have a backline like this. But it's pretty rare. Is your channel only Cassidy? At the moment, yes, it is. In the near future, I do plan to offer more heroes, but yes. Okay, let's keep rocking. Good kill. I don't like that roll from you, by the way. Good kill. Nice shot. Okay, Bomb Man, so far, I'm seeing a lot of really bad rolls from you as well. Just something to keep in mind. We're rolling when no one's shooting at us, or we're rolling in a one fight, or we're rolling a lot for no reason. We need to fix that. And that's an easy fix too. Just spend a few games thinking about it. Did you say within a month you'll be adding more? I plan to, yes. Yeah, so for example, Bombman, you can't roll here, right? I understand your Sierra just killed 2 people, and this guy's isolated on the angle, but you're playing into Doomfist, and now you're wide. You also don't even have flashbang. Like, if you had flashbang, I would be slightly more sympathetic for you, but going wide on an angle like this, especially when if you get shot, you have no cover to work with, we just can't take fights like this, because you will die. You will die doing stuff like this. I'm rolling for Silver Bullet, and I've been trying to fix it. Yeah, it's definitely something that's holding you back a little bit, for sure. Like, you being wide here with no roll is extremely scary. Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, I don't gotta be Nostradamus to know that you're gonna die here, right? You also shouldn't be taking this fight, for the record, but I would be more okay with you taking the fight as long as you had your cooldowns, but you don't have either of them. Okay, so that's my big critique. The correct play, for the record here, would be to shoot the soldier. Okay, just mark him. Just mark him and live. It would not be to walk out here. Just come play point. Because they ultimately, you have to understand, you have control of the point here. They have to come to you at the end of the day. So you just need to live, right? You want to play risk adverse when you're ahead, and we are ahead right now. Thank you for that. I want to grow, but I feel like I'm knowledge stunted right now. Lol. I need to learn more so I can see more mistakes. Yeah, this is what I will say is as a coach, okay, we're gonna go a bit on a tangent here, but I feel like this is an important discussion to have. As a coach, what I often see from students is the idea, it's not super common, but it comes up, is the idea that they're held back by knowledge, okay? And what ends up happening is this specific archetype of student is convinced if they watch, okay, and you know, don't take this the wrong way, guys, okay? But they're convinced that if I just watch 200 tail videos, if I just watch every single tail video there is known to man, that they're magically going to climb in rank, okay? This is not how it works. And the reason being is what's actually holding you back is not knowledge. It's the way you approach obtaining knowledge. Okay. And let me explain. So here's what I mean by that. The reason the spreadsheet is an actually unbelievably overpowered way to approach the game is because it gives you a superpower, which is critical thinking. The ability to think critically is what distinguishes a good player from a great player. And the reason this is because someone who is capable of critical thinking is someone who is able to make incremental progress and improve dramatically. So what you should be thinking about, it's not about finding the right answer. It's about leading yourself toward the right answer, getting close to getting the right answer. Because here's the thing, you have to think about skill acquisition as a tree. And at the beginning of every tree, there is a trunk and then there is branches, right? And your goal in Overwatch at any given moment is to find the optimal branch, right? You want to find what is the best play possible, okay? So you don't know this, but it's actually branch A here. what you know is that the branches that exist are A, B, C, D, and E, okay? A is the best play, but we don't actually know that. In your games, you might pick E and D, and maybe you don't even know that C, B, and A exist, and that's fine. But what I encourage you to do as a coach is to start thinking about what possible branches could even exist. What possible plays could I be trying? Could I try branch C? Does that even make any sense? What about branch B? Does branch B make any sense? What about branch E? Does branch E make any sense? That's the one I did in the game. Is that actually the best play? Yes or no? It's about the critical thinking component, because if you build that muscle long term, you will be able to derive that play A is the best play on your own without any previous knowledge bestowed upon you, right? I wouldn't need to coach you to figure out that A is the best play. You would just be able to figure that out yourself. Okay. And that's what I try to do with stuff like the spreadsheet. The idea of the spreadsheet, and the reason that I need you guys to write down notes and, more importantly, ask questions, is because this critical thinking is what I'm trying to get you guys to execute on, so that you can derive the best play eventually yourself. You don't need to derive it the first time. You won't know what the best play is the first time, but that's not the point. The point is so that next time you try to figure out what the best play is, you're now 2% more likely. Okay. And Tail, how are you so good at figuring out what the right answer is? How are you so confident that you can coach people at XYZ level and that you might know what's going on? It's because I've done this a billion times. I never knew what the best play was at the beginning, but I just tried things. I threw shit at the wall until something stuck. Okay. And that's why I teach you guys to do that. Okay. I went on a huge rant there, but that's what I would need you to understand. You might be knowledge limited, but keep in mind, even if you are knowledge limited, that's not holding you back. It's likely your process. Okay. Nice. Okay, now we reset. Wait for our team. Shoot Doomfist. Okay, I don't really like you peeking the Doomfist that early. You know, he's playing a dive tank, right? And you're isolated. Your team is still walking back from spawn. Right, so like here, for example, you shouldn't even be shooting people. You should just leave. Just leave. The chance of you actually dying to people like this Doomfist is actually pretty high. What if one branch works well on plot level only, so it would be a bad habit? That's also the reason why I teach you guys to think critically. Like I need you guys to understand that the important part of improving is not figuring out the best play. Figuring out the optimal play doesn't matter. It's your approach to the game. Do you think critically about whether play A was good or bad, and then you rationalize whether it was or not in that situation? Which is why VOD reviewing is important. The reason that VOD reviewing helps you improve so much is because it makes you, number one, observe, and then it makes you, number two, think. Thinking is the important part. You can think about it as, you can think of observing as showing up to the gym, and you can think about thinking as actually lifting weights, okay? And then next time you play the game, right, whenever you boot up the game the next time, that's when you start reaping the benefits of the observation and the thinking, right? Then you play the game. So it's not about, even if a play is quote unquote optimal for plat and then it's not optimal for GM, it doesn't really matter, because as long as you're thinking about whether or not that play made sense in that moment, then that's fine. You're not going to be able to accurately identify the best play all of the time. I'm not even able to do that. That's why I'm not champ 1. Does that make sense? Like, you'll get to the point where that play stops working, or that branch stops working in whatever elo you're in, and then you'll start thinking about, well, why is it not working anymore? Why am I dying? And then you'll be able to answer that question effectively, right? So I hope that's helpful. It's a, yeah. If it stops working, you think the process, yeah, exactly. I had all my cooldowns, so I wasn't too scared, but I see it could have been bad. Yeah, like, it didn't matter if you had your cooldowns or not. It's just you're mistimed with your team. Like, how you should be thinking about it, Bomb Man, is you want to be taking, like, risk like this. You might say the risk is, like, not very high. It's, like, 10% or whatever. But it doesn't really matter how high it is. What matters more is that you're taking any level of risk And even if you die, your team can't do anything with the space you made. What you want to do is take risk where even if you fail, even if you get the worst outcome, your team gets some net benefit. And that's why flanking is broken. So, because for example, let's say we were on their side of the map right now and we died. Well, at least the enemy Doomfist would be in their spawn and out of the fight completely, right? There's some tangible benefit even if we died. If you died here, there's literally no benefit for your team. Okay, and that's the problem. Taking this fight is fine now that your team is back, by the way. So I don't actually mind this. Okay, your team is kind of goated. I don't mind the Deadeye, by the way. It's fine. Okay, I didn't like the way you opened up Night Market here. I don't like you opening and going right side as much as you did into the Doomfist matchup. I don't mind. After the first fight, I didn't really mind you coming right side, but starting on the right side angle was, I think, an incorrect idea. But I think your general approach to Overwatch is really great. Like, especially on Garden, I think you played Garden almost perfectly. There was a few times where you probably are a little bit too aggressive into the matchup, right? Into the Doom matchup. I don't really want to see you stand here. I'd much rather you play a lot more risk adverse like here. But I didn't really mind your ideas on Garden specifically. And then on Control Center, this was almost perfectly played. Once again, I love your idea on flanking backline and really going for those high risk plays, but I don't want to see you be this extended, right? Or if, at the very minimum, if you are going to be this extended, your idea should be to all in, because you can't even rotate out of this angle anyway, right? We counted out the time earlier. It was like a 7-second rotation out of this position, which is too long. It's way too long. So if you're going to be here, commit to it. Anyway, this is a verdict losing for me. Bombman, for you, homework, number 1, play more when you can, okay? Because I think you're underrated right now. I think if you just had more games, you'd be higher rank. And then number 2, I also need you to watch your rolls, okay? You're using rolls really aggressively, and it's getting you killed a lot. I don't want to see you roll forward on people. You did that a few times, and it got you killed. So I would just be a little bit more conscious of that. And then number 3, into the dive matchup, prefer being risk adverse. Okay. Into the dive matchup, you have to kind of think about it as a dumbbell strategy. You're either going to be super low risk, super low reward, or the inverse of this, which is you're super high risk, super high reward. Okay. So for example, like if you're going to go for this wrap play in this corner, you should be all-inning people. Okay, but this is verdict losing for me, Bombman, particularly because I didn't like how aggressively you were playing on this point. And then your Night Market, we kind of just int a little bit. But, it's okay. The way you played the first point was super losing, but everything else was okay. But your Garden was good. I really liked your ideas on Garden. But yeah, verdict losing. Thank you for the code. That actually makes me feel a lot better, not having the pressure of, oh, I have to know immediately what the best play would have been, but learning to reach the best play by just improving what I have right now. Yes, exactly. You need to be thinking about yourself as a house, right? Well, okay, hold on. Why is it doing this? This is so annoying every time I do this. Okay. You need to be thinking of yourself as a house, okay? Ideally, here's what you need. You need to have the best foundation humanly possible. And what consists of your foundation? These are going to be things like having a spreadsheet. Okay? This is going to be things like getting coaching. This is going to be things like watching educational content. These are going to be all things that give you a strong foundation, as well as I ran out of room. But this is also going to be things like literally just playing the game frequently. Okay? And then you need to be thinking about your house as you're building it. You're not going to build the house perfectly the first time. You're not going to show up and then all of a sudden, holy shit, you got a fucking 3-story mansion with everything all the amenities, a swimming pool and everything. That's not how this shit works. Okay. You're not going to have the house off rip. You have to start building the wall, and then you're going to fuck up the wall a little bit, and you'll be like, damn, I fucked up the wall. But then you're going to build the wall again, and you'll be like, wait, but this wall is actually kind of goated now. I kind of have a good wall. And then you're going to build the next wall, and then you're going to fuck up that wall, and then you have to rebuild that shit. And then you have a slightly better wall that time. And then you just keep iterating over and over and over again. And then all of a sudden you have this actual masterpiece of a house. You know, maybe it has a few dinges here and there, right? A few issues. But I mean, you got a pretty nice house, right? And it's because you had a pretty good foundation and you continuously iterated on what you had. Just keep iterating. Keep iterating. Thanks for the view. I will apply this and I can start playing more after finals. We love that. We love that. Yeah, I predict if you played 100 games, you'd be in Masters. Yeah. Definitely mid-diamond. Masters might be pushing it because it's like you would need like Delta 15 and that's a pretty high win rate. You need like a 70% win rate. Yeah, I think you'd be mid-diamond. Okay. But yeah, thank you for the code. Exclamation resolve. And then we're going to do... okay, so here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to go into the next raffle. I'm going to do exclamation mark new raffle for 300. You have 5 minutes to enter the raffle. You can do exclamation mark enter to enter the raffle or exclamation mark claim to claim a ticket to be more likely to win in the future when you do have a raffle. And in the meantime, I will be sending everybody to a 3-minute ad jail. You will not be missing anything. It's just going to be small talk, okay? So don't be too mad if you're in ads. So be right back, everyone. Okay. At wants to tell you, remember the last time you gave a winning or no? I think the last winning code was Raptor Suravasa like a month ago. I think. Yeah, I think that's the last one. Suravasa is definitely the most common map to get winning verdicts on. I think. We've had a few winning Suravasas. Or 2. I think maybe a few is literally just 2. Does anyone else see the Incredibles logo on the side on the worm's collar thing? On the left side? Maybe the Disney... Maybe it's a sign that Disney needs to sponsor me. Running stream on YouTube and Twitch, let's go. Yep, you are dodging the ads.
Someone needs to fill this saddle.
Huge ad block. Suravasa is more like Permaflink City swag style. That's literally exactly what it is. Your ad was only 5 seconds? Really? I ran it. It's still running right now. It runs for 3 minutes. It might be like a Twitch thing where... Because I know on YouTube, they run ads according to how much you can actually tolerate ads. Like one thing, I did a bunch of research on how you should be... Okay, so if you guys don't know, whenever you upload a video to YouTube, you can, as a creator... You can either have YouTube automatically basically place the ads in your video, which is what I do, or you can manually place your ads into the video. But here's the thing, like, let's say I put an ad every minute, which is not what I do, but let's just say I did that. What YouTube will do is it won't actually play an ad every minute for the user. It will only play an ad it will only play as many ads as it thinks the user can withstand before they leave the platform. So if you're a low ad tolerance user, it's going to give you like 1 ad max. Okay, maybe like the pre-roll for the video. But if they know you're just a dude that plays YouTube, you know, on the side while you make dinner or whatever, then they're going to give you a billion ads because you literally can't even skip it anyway. So just an interesting thing. I forgot why I was talking about that, but yeah. Tail, do you prefer... Oh, sorry. Tail, do you prefer me not entering first-time VOD review if I don't have a spreadsheet? No, dude. Literally... Look, if you think you can benefit from a code, then definitely enter for a code. There's literally no reason not to. I think if you want... Okay. I guess you're asking for my opinion on whether or not you should get a code, given your situation. In my opinion, I think that if you want to maximize the use of your tickets, like let's say you have 50 tickets right now, I would not enter a raffle until I've had a spreadsheet running for like 2 weeks. And then I would enter the raffle for a review. Like the spreadsheet is broke. I'm telling you guys, it's so broken. We have people that are Delta 30 from the spreadsheet alone. It's so busted. Like, just do the spreadsheet, because then also the spreadsheet will make you more critical and you'll be able to find issues that you can solve on your own. Where you should be leveraging my coaching is when you don't know, like, or you find it difficult to find what the next step is. If you're at a point in your kind of career where you think you could benefit from that, then fine. Or if you just think it'd be fun to get coached, like we have community members who just find it fun to get coached. Like fine, there's no big deal. Like at the end of the day, I'm gonna be coaching for a long ass time. So, like, if you get coached now, I mean you're probably gonna get coached in another month. So not a big deal. I got like 20 delta in a month since starting spreadsheet. Yes, exactly, Poppy. Yeah. Is going on a long flank on Runasapi from the Mega and go behind them good? If you want, I can give you a code and you can check it real quick. It's going on a long flank on Runasapi from the... Like, do you mean coast? Like, into their spawn? Like, once you cap on second point? Because if so, then yes. Is it worth sacrificing staging a high-value position to match your team's flanks intentions? It just, like, that's where skill expression comes in, Midas, because it's hard to say. How high value is the flank? What's the map? Do you have Deadeye? Do you have any win conditions at all? Is your team trolling? Like, I don't know. It's going to depend. There's not an obvious answer there. That's not a black or white question. Thank God for you, block. Sorry, Till, for taking your money. No, dude, you've taken 2 cents out of my pocket, bro. Holy moly, what am I ever gonna do? Bedsticks, congratulations, you've been selected for coaching. Let's do great things. From under the water wheel thingy. Oh, that mega rotation. Typically, you don't want to do that. Okay, so just for the sake of context. So... who's asking the question? I actually forgot. Speed. Okay, so Speed, aka I forgot. Michael Afton is asking on Runasapi, should you make the coast side rotation around the water wheel on Runasapi? Okay, it just depends, right? Most of the time, this play isn't that good. We had a code a long time ago. It's now lost in the Twitch VODs. But he's talking about this rotation, okay? You typically don't want to do this rotation because it takes way too damn long as cast. Because you have to come this way and then you have to, like, somehow pray that the enemy team is in this space to use Deadeye on them or something like that. The only time it makes any sense is when you have Deadeye. Or, for example, your team is pushing the cart to here, right? Your team is pushing the cart to this space and you're walking back from spawn. Because if you're walking back from spawn and you want to end up on the coast side with the idea of doing something like this in the mid fight, then yeah, coming this way is fine. I went in deeper in the room. I mean, it's just going to depend. But yeah. I won't... unless we get a Runasapi code there, I'm not going to elaborate much more. But yeah. Because it's just so circumstantial. Like, I can give you a general approach, but the exact answer is going to be situational. Okay, let's look at med sticks here. Med sticks. I think this is your first review, med sticks. So it's gonna be excellent. Let me go ahead and check this out. Med sticks. Oh, here it is. Deadly pants. Yes, Nepal. Perfect. Okay. GM4. Okay, we're in high elo. This is excellent. We love high elo codes. GM4. Perfect. This is my first code. I feel somewhat confident in submitting. While I do sit in main occasionally, I feel like I really utilize Cass for his strengths as a flanker. I had many great plays and feel like I also didn't get too greedy with this kit a lot of the time. Sorry I haven't prepared any notes or game data for you to analyze since, to be honest, I've been getting flogged by exams. Thanks in advance. First of all, no problem at all. Second of all, well, Medsticks, you've been here for a while, but it's great to have a code from you, so this is gonna be enjoyable. Third, definitely highly recommend. I'm a #1 advocate for spreadsheets. I think it's broken. It's the unpatched reflection method that I'll help you improve faster. I assume your goal is to be champion, and whenever you're pushing for something like champion, I think a spreadsheet's going to be a really, really strong way to help you get better. So definitely highly recommend you start doing that. You don't have to just play Cassidy for that to be strong. It's strong for basically anybody trying to improve. Yeah. Okay, so let's hop into this code. It's going to be GM4 on Nepal. And let me also go here.
Ready for battle.
What are we starting on Nepal? Village. Okay. So let's do maps. No. Modes. Control. Let's just pray we get it. Also need to resolve this. Boom.
Traveling to Nepal.
Village. Oh my goodness, we got fantastic luck.
4, 3,
Okay,
Someone needs to fill this saddle.
we are deadly pants.
1.
Okay, let's check it out.
Capture the objective.
Also, could you take a quick look at my spreadsheet? Pillboy, you have to remind me after this. I actually just completely forgot. Okay, so coming into the map here. So, okay, so we make a mistake immediately, by the way. So, what's the mistake here? What's the mistake here? And why? You have to get both of them right to get the ticket here. What's the problem with this? Boom, we already made the mistake. Main, no speed in team and not going left. First guy forward, front line, where the mega is. I'm gonna give it. I'll actually give it to organic here. So there's kind of two key issues here. Number one is we're playing on village. Okay, and one thing you have to understand about village is that on this map, high ground control. What the hell? High ground control on this side of the map is extremely important for winning the neutral. The reason being is that the team that has high ground has really insane OP angles over the point, right? You can just shoot everybody from everywhere. It's really strong. Like, for example, if let's say we're red team here, right? So let's just say as red team, we make this rotation a point. That means blue team can just come up here and then shoot people from the high ground, and it's really impossible to deal with these guys. So from a macro perspective, high ground control is extremely important, unless you're there's exceptions, right? If you're playing like a bunker comp with sim, then you'll do this rotation sometimes, but I'm not going to talk about that. But anyway, so you need to understand that playing up top is really, really important. And then what we need to see as Deadly Pants, the red team Cassie player, is that we do not have a speed boost hero. Okay, and then especially the higher elo you go, the more likely that people are going to identify that this high ground is important, and the more likely that your supports are going to be playing speed heroes. And would you look at that? Blue team has a Juno, red team does not have a Juno, so we should by default assume we don't have a speed hero, so we are going to be here second. You need to assume that in these kind of situations. So what you should do is, instead of coming through the top door, because you know you're going to be second, you should be coming through this room, which is called kitchen. You should be coming in the kitchen and opening up this angle. Otherwise, you're just going to get stuffed in this choke here, and your macro is going to be losing. Okay, so we already make a mistake. Also, even if you didn't think about the map in that way, you should identify that you are doubled up with your Sojourn, which is losing. So even if you want, you can approach it from an even simpler lens, which is just by doubling up. We shouldn't be coming with our Sojourn. We should be coming left side. So organic, definitely correct. I hate village because I always lose the first fight. I suspect that you lose the first fight for the reason I'm mentioning here, where your team is actually just late every single time, and then you aren't adapting to the situation by choosing a different angle. Right? If you're mindlessly walking out this top right door every single time, that's largely, I suspect, a contributor. Pathing left to above point is usually wrong. I think if you do that, it's okay sometimes, right? I would be okay with it here. So if our hero went this way and then walked through this room to walk up this staircase and do this, I would be okay with that. But you have to understand that that rotation is very slow. It's very slow. Because it would take us an additional 10 seconds to complete the rotation, right? Normally what you do is you just come this way, walk in the kitchen, and then you start contributing to the neutral. That, or you walk on the floor and you just like go point or something. You can identify, like, use your best judgment, right? Use your best judgment. But either way, we absolutely should not be coming top right door. That's 100% the worst play. Yeah, because look at this. We don't even do anything here, and now we get zoned out. And, okay, we make another mistake off a rip here. Okay, we make another mistake here, which is, so not only do we get stuffed on the top right choke, but also you and your Sojourn both leave this angle, which is a huge mistake. Huge mistake. One of you needs to stay here. One of you should stay here with the idea of Your Sojourn, let's just say you stayed there, for example. Your Sojourn slides away, and then your whole team is going to bait attention in main. Guess what's going to happen? Enemy team is now no longer going to be marking this door, so they're going to walk forward and stand on the bridge. Well, guess what? If you stayed in this position, you would now have a flank on the enemy backline. You cannot leave this position because now it's going to be even more convenient for the enemy team because they're all going to be on this high ground and your entire team is going to be at a disadvantage in the low ground. So you make a mistake here. You or the Sojourn, it didn't really matter who. I mean, in this situation, it's actually preferably you here, but you or the Sojourn need to stay on this angle and then make the flank after your team makes a rotation of points. So this is a mistake. If your supports don't go speed heroes, can you swap to Sim and TP your team? Yes, you can, but then you as Cassidy would just be late anyway. If you wanted to play Sim, then that's fine. You can go main, right? There are exceptions largely when it comes to Sim, but you should just assume if your team is not playing a speed hero, you're late. You should just assume that.
On me.
So this is a good idea, given that you are rotating away, by the way, med sticks. But I would have just preferred you do this from top angle, right? But this is like a good semi-application of what I'm talking about here. Also, rolling when you're not getting shot at is a mistake. But being on this side of the map is correct. Shoot the Juno. I actually kind of just don't care who you shoot. Just shoot actually anybody, and it's fine. Okay. I don't know why we're rolling here. No one's shooting you. You kind of get flustered here. Yeah, I kind of understand why you did that, because maybe you're swinging the open, and that puts you at least in cover. Okay, and then at this point, right, once this Tracer gets cleared and she leaves, right, you hear her triple blink past you. We should be turning around, walking back this way, and then setting up to clear high ground. Like, come this way and clear high ground. Because otherwise, we're not going to be able to do anything this whole time. Or, at the very minimum, you should be minimizing your risk, right? Your team is capping the point right now. Your Doomfist is the guy doing something. Just come stand back here and just chill, right? We don't have to get too active here. The big problem is that the Tracers on this left side of the map here, like this, we can't really deal with her without overextending ourselves. So all we can do is actually zone people out of this position. Right? There's not really a lot to be done in this kind of situation, right? There are people playing across the map that we can't get to because we have to go in the open. They're playing Doomfist, which is not it's not a terrible matchup for us, but he is dead, right? I mean, sorry. It didn't really matter that he's dead here, but if the Doomfist was alive, we're just punishable, right? We just shouldn't be taking a risk right now, especially when we're up, right? The Doomfist is dead. Just chill. Just chill. Okay. I don't use left height nearly enough. You don't really use it that often. It's just kind of circumstantial, right? And we're just taking risk here when we don't need to. We killed the Doomfist. Just chill. No need to take space like this. Or if you are going to take space, right, we should be using our own side of the map and walking up the stairs or something.
Not exactly what I expect.
Okay. So here we roll out right side, which is correct. Fill the empty space. And I need you to not roll like this. So you hear people fighting in main. You hear the Juno. You hear the Cass. And you see your Doomfist shooting his gun, as well as your Soj shooting her gun as well. You should assume that a fight is happening right now. You should not be rolling right now. We are in range of the fight itself. So now, for the next 5 seconds, you're not able to take any risk. But that's really contradictory to what we want to be doing right now, because we just got to the fight. We want to start incurring risk. We want to start taking fights that are good for us. But we can't because we just rolled, right? So you shouldn't be rolling here. Okay. The only thing about this is I kind of just don't like your angle selection. I mean, you can also attribute this to mechanical failure, but I would say if you just walk this way, you'd be able to throw flashbang. So I wish you just kind of walk closer to them, but whatever. You being here is correct, though. You can't drop here. You can't. It's obvious to me that this was a mistake, but we can't drop. You need to stay on the high ground. Nice kills. Okay. This, by the way, guys, I want to point out that the reason we are able to get all of these kills is because Med6 had really good pathing out of spawn. That's what led to all of this. That was the correct branch in the tree that led him to kill 4. He had a really bad mechanical failure there, but it didn't end up mattering because the position was too strong anyway. Okay, I don't like this from you. This position is fine, but you're lacking something here, which is after you kill these guys and you come top right, you should team check. Or at any point here, you need to recognize that your Sojourn's doubled up with you. Sojourn is here. Sojourn is still here, right? In both of these situations, I don't like that you're doubled up with the Sojourn, right? I need you to... Who's your Overwatch League player? This BAP? I literally don't even know. Is Shaka Overwatch League player? I've never heard that name in my life. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. The big mistake here is that now we're doubled up with the Sojourn. So if the enemy team was smart, for example, they would say, oh, everyone's top right. I'm just going to go main where there's nobody and then start taking this position, right? So you should, instead of coming here and stuffing the choke, just come here and stand in this position. That way, if they walk through this main area here, you can just 2-tap them or whatever. You can at least zone them as they walk through. This is Oceania server. I don't know. Okay, I see. It feels like, man, there's something to do. It's not about doing something right now. It's about stopping enemy playmaking, right? Because think about it. From the enemy team's position perspective, what is their best play, right? Their best play is obviously not go high ground as a unit, because everyone on the enemy team is already up here, right? What they're going to want to do is not take... Because this is also a really bad fight in this choke for their team comp as well. They don't want to fight in this room, especially when they're outranged by double hit scan. They don't want to fight on this side of the map. What they're instead going to do is like come this way and force you guys to respond by making some rotation and then using their verticality to do something about it, right? Or put a hit scan here as a lurk and then that guy swings late on timing. But long story short, what you want to do is stand here and prevent this rotation from happening, or at least make it difficult to make that rotation, right? And then also, the bigger problem as well is you and Sojourn are playing the same angle, so they can just subvert both of you by making one play, which is a mistake, right? Doubling up is poor. Yeah, so this ended up panning out because your Sojourn ended up coming left side, and now your Sojourn's marking the person in main. But the problem is that you weren't the person to make the decision. The Sojourn was the person that made the decision. This guy had better macro than you, and you should be grateful for that, right? We needed to identify this earlier so that we weren't the guy on the back foot. We need to be the guy making that decision, right? It is good that you stay here, given that your Sojourn's wide now, but we should have been the guy wide to begin with, to be honest. You should have adapted to what happened there. And then rolling away from Sojourn after marking here is fine. Go for the flash. We kind of get stuck and die. Yeah, in my opinion, this kind of just shouldn't have been how the things panned out. You should have identified that you were stacked with the Sojourn, rotated earlier, stood here, zoned these guys, and then you would have never died to Sojourn on the flank, because it's very likely, in my opinion, that that guy would have stayed on that side of the map. So, yeah. You can argue for things like Deadeye and not dropping, or like dropping and going this way, but I'm gonna be honest, it kind of just doesn't matter. Like, I think this play is pretty reasonable to stand here and just shoot people, but whatever. I wouldn't overthink it. I think the line you chose after the fact is fine. Yeah, I mean, you just shouldn't really be taking space here. Your whole team is dead, right? There's no team check happening as you take the angle. Like, you have a very obvious team check issue, right? This is the second time, if not the third time, where you've just lost fights because you're not team checking. You literally don't even know where your team is. I think you're a smart enough player to realize that if you would team check that, oh, my team is all backing up, I shouldn't be going on a deep angle right now, right? So just keep in mind, every single time you die and you walk back from spawn, you need to, number one, look at the kill feed, number two, team check, and number three, hit tap. Oh, those are the three things. Here you get bailed out by your team. I don't care about any of this because you just get bailed out by your team, right? And the enemy team, they don't convert the kill fast enough. So I kind of just don't care about how you play this way. Okay, I don't really know what your doofus is doing. He forces land. Okay, recap the point. Is there anything... Actually, let me check the notes on this game again. What was your... So my first quote, I feel confident in submitting. While I do sit in main occasionally, I feel like I really utilize Cass as a flanker. I feel like... You're... Okay. I had many great plays and feel like I didn't really get too greedy with this character. Yeah, let's just keep playing. Let's just keep watching. Okay. Make another mistake off rip here. Okay, so does your tank go right side? Okay, your tank goes right side. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I would probably follow my tank here. Because here's the problem. Here's the thing. You kind of need it. This is where you need to use your critical thinking skills. You have it Sojourn, and your tank is Doomfist. What is happening right now? Your Doomfist is coming right side. So here are the two options you have. You have option number 1, which is come right side and follow your Doomfist, and option number 2, go left side and play the main angle. I am against the idea of coming to play the main angle because you're playing Sojourn, and Sojourn, where does Sojourn want to go? Sojourn wants to come to the right side of the map. And if you, or sorry, the left side of the map. And if you go to the left side of the map, you are going to make this angle weaker for her, right? It's going to be less strong for her to be here. Why is that the case? Because as a DPS, if you double up an angle with your ally DPS, you have your effective value, right? The pressure of the space you're controlling here is halved, even though you have 2 people here. Let's just say 2 people are shooting the Sojourn, for example. And then your Sojourn's here. Your Sojourn is going 2 for 1. But if you're also here, now your Sojourn's going 2 for 2, which is okay. Like sometimes that can be good, but it's not the economic trade of playing here is not as good for the Sojourn. I hope that makes sense, right? It's not as good for the ally Sojourn because now she doesn't get as much value by occupying 2 people. And a good Sojourn is just going to slide out and live anyway, right? So I would come right side, not only because this is a better side of the map for Cassidy, but also you get your Sojourn on average will get more value for playing alone on the angle. So I just think coming left side is going to be because it's not like you can do anything here anyway. Right, this Malgo would have gotten zoned even if you weren't here. And also notice, if you went right side, you would have been left here on the angle because your Doomfist ended up coming main anyway, and you'd be able to shoot people. Right, so you honestly don't even flank enough here. You should have went right side to start. And I think you actually end up identifying that, but I needed you to identify. Oh no, 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 we cannot come here. Okay. The problem with this position is that, okay. The problem with this position is that you can't rotate out of this position. You're stuck here now. Okay. Medsticks, do you know the roll tech from here? If you know the roll tech, I'll forgive you. Yeah, if he knows the roll tech, I'll forgive him. If Medsticks does not know the roll tech from this position, we can't be here ever as Cassidy. And the reason we can't be here is because there's no rotation out of this position. If you want to leave this room, which I call you, your U-Haul or whatever, the reason you can't leave, the reason this position is bad is because if you need to leave, you have to walk into the open back to your team, which is pretty poor. We don't want to have to do that. There is a role tech that exists, which is you can stand against this dresser. Let me actually get to the map here. Show lobby. You can stand against that dresser and you can roll tech against it and it'll actually send you flying to the high ground. Sorry, my Twitch crashed.
Traveling to Nepal.
That is Shrine. This is not the map we want. Settings, modes, control, third. Nah, I don't know the roll tech, to be honest. Okay, yeah, then we should never be here. Okay, so the only time that going into that room makes any sense is if you know the roll tech. And it's for the exact reason I mentioned, which is you can't get out of the position otherwise. You have to walk through the open, which is not a good plan to have as a Cassie player. So let me get back over here. Okay, so here, how you do the roll tech, by the way, exclamation mark roll tech to get the video link, is you stand in this corner, you like wedge yourself against this, and then you just do normal roll tech timing. You want to generally look in this vicinity. It's not very precise, and it sends you up here. Okay, so this is one of the most important roll techs to know, and it's like the first roll tech I even show in the video. So make sure you know this one because it makes playing that room slightly more viable. But yes, you need to not drop into this room. Also, because you incur opportunity cost, you're no longer able to make this play, which is just way stronger. So yeah, and you can very clearly feel it. You just don't, you're not able to do anything there. Okay, go right side. Love this from you. This helps your team break the choke. Force the Maka out. I'm so down for that. Pull resources. Now we get aggressive. Okay. I don't like us stacking with the Sojourn here. Identify your sojourns here. Honestly, you need to make a decision. Either come main with your team and clear people from this position, or continue wrapping. I don't really care. They're both good. I don't really like us standing in main though. Yeah, like here I would just wrap. Continue wrapping, walk with your manga. Is how I would have played that. I think the Maga dies no matter what. Even if you weren't here, I'm pretty sure that Maga is just dead to your Sojourn on this angle, and your Maga swinging main. So I would have just went main to make sure to help my Sojourn have more value because she's alone on the angle, and then I come left side and help my team. Yeah, and then this just shouldn't really be your idea. Standing on point is really like going through U-Haul to get to point is just not the answer. You want to be working the periphery. And then here, you do it subconsciously. I don't think you did. Yeah, I don't think you did this intentionally, but we're playing a different angle than our Sojourn. This is just important to know. Don't play the same angle as your DPS. If your ally DPS is here, I don't want you also being here. Take the other side. So we're playing opposite sides, which is good. Shoot Naga. Okay, this is fine. Your tank is dead. We get to nade early to buy time for our tank to come back. That's actually fine. Okay, your Sojourn dies anyway. Brutal. Fight's lost. Yeah, I would just leave. Nice. Okay. Your cast, get the kill. Nice job. And then now you work an angle, surely. Okay, your guy is dead again, unfortunate. Go right side, okay. Yeah, okay. There's a really big team checking issue from you, by the way. Every single time you've made a rotation pretty much so far, you just don't team check. Like here, you come right side. Where's my tank at? Is he in? I don't know. Now you know, but you didn't know that as you're making the rotation, right? I need you, as you make the rotation, you should be team checking. So for example, this is going to be the mirror side of the map, but I will show you regardless. I'm not going to walk to the other side. So for example, we make this rotation. What we should be doing is this. As you walk through, you need to team check. Where is my team? Are they pushing? Do I need to wait? Do I have good timing? Those are the kind of questions you need to be asking. You don't even have enough information because you're not even team checking. Okay. This is okay. I don't mind this. Nice. Okay, come right side. Shoot Sojourn. Match intentions. Our team wasn't holding the choke, so we also didn't hold the choke. Okay, that's sick. We love Silver Bullet. OP perk, by the way. Nice shot. This idea is how you play cast, by the way. It's a little bit unfortunate that your Sojourn stacked on you the whole time there, but the idea is good enough. Okay. I really... this is verdict losing for sure. It's not a doubt in my mind that this is verdict losing. There's a few issues. Number one, don't play in U-Haul, okay? You should intuit... You should be able to intuit that playing in U-Haul is bad because you can't rotate out of this position, okay? So I don't want to see you in here basically ever as Cassidy. You always want to work the periphery of the map. Also, I need you to team check more because it's very clear to me that you're not really consciously applying the idea of not doubling up. You and the Sojourn ended up on the same angle a bunch of times, and you can partially attribute that to your Sojourn having bad awareness, but we have to take accountability and make up for that guy's lack of awareness. So there was a bunch of times where you needed to identify that you and Sojourn are playing the same angle, and you need to rotate away to a different angle. The most apparent moment of this happening is whenever you're exactly here where you and Sojourn are stuffing this choke. It's okay, but in the solo queue context, you should identify that this is generally not a good principle, and instead you want to be standing here with the idea of foregoing doing an extra 100 damage on the enemy team's walk up for the sake of having more space control when they inevitably try to rotate to main. Okay, and I hope that makes sense. Like out of everything here, you're had a strong lack of awareness for your ally DPS's position, and then number two, you just don't team check very often, right? There was one time where you swing here late for no reason because you didn't even team check, and then you got very lucky that your team bailed you out, and that's not going to be consistent, especially if you're trying to push for champ. And then also, yeah, I mean, team checking, you just had pretty poor awareness. Okay, so I hope that gave you a very clear path forward and something pretty tangible to work on. This is one of the easiest codes for me to coach because, I mean, you very clearly have the recipe, right? You understand, at least partially, what gives Cassie strength in his ability, you know, to flank and take duels and stuff like that. But your application of that knowledge is a little bit sloppy to me because your lack of awareness. But yes, Zeta, good to see you, by the way. I don't know if I already said that. But yeah, this is going to be verdict losing. Thank you for the code. Okay. Yeah, thanks for the coaching. Yeah, no problem at all. Glad I could help. But okay, that's gonna be that code. We are gonna go into the next one. I have energy for one more code. Okay, I can feel myself fade out of existence as we speak. So we're gonna do no, I hope I resolved the last one. Oh, actual nightmare situation. I don't know if I resolved the last one, so if you got scammed out of a ticket, guys, I'm sorry. Just know that this system will be cleaning itself up soon. Okay, now enter the raffle. My bad, guys. Do exclamation mark enter, exclamation mark claim to either enter the raffle to get selected for coaching or exclamation mark claim to claim a ticket to be more likely to win in the future. But yes. Yes, that's my bad. It's actually, the system is so annoying. Anyway, I'm gonna send everybody to add jail for 3 minutes, okay? We're just gonna small talk while we wait. And yeah, 5 minutes to enter the raffle on Twitch. But be right back, everyone. Ads, boom. Okay, Pillboy, where's your spreadsheet at? Where's the spreadsheet at? Stream on Friday, Tail? Yes, there will be a stream on Friday, and it will likely be the full length. Yeah, likely. Which is 6 hours, by the way. Tail, do you know any ball players? I know of, there's this dude on YouTube. His name is like, I don't know how to say his name. It's like Rodent? I don't know his name, bro. I know how to spell it. It's this guy. This guy makes educational ball content. Is this guy the best guy that does this? I have literally no idea. I just know that he coaches ball, so.
Oh, Redsent! Oh my god.
Redsent? Maybe that's his name. But I know this guy makes content. And then there's also people like Chasm, of course, that play ball and coach that hero as well. But yeah. I don't know if Chasm even coaches it anymore, but yeah. Okay. This is a Pillboy sheet. I was marked by Alari and Ash in that halfway, but I was just getting stuck trying to make that rotation when it's not viable anymore. I should have gone right side flank after first head. Perfect. Also made micro mistakes like rolling in the open. Perfect. Tried to tell a few times with the 3-4. Okay. I mean, this is all good. So I was really scared to make the full wrap on Skinny Sherry because of Diva. I ended up doing it because of mid-fight. Okay, whatever. Okay, whatever. Mecha base was really funny because, okay, sounds good. Yeah, looks good. This game went pretty well, but there was one fight where the Genji was ratting. Okay, I didn't know, whatever. I decided to just, okay, this is good as well. Should I appeal for support with nothing to do except for staging? Your footsteps make sound walk. You literally know the answer to this. The answer is they make sound always. Once I get, I mean, maybe you don't. Okay, my bad. I'm being a little bit mean. You don't know. Yes, my bad. Anyway, once I get marked by DPS and support in the hallway of building, should I go for, okay, these are all good. This all looks good to me. This all looks good to me. Sheet has been updated. Yeah, there is a new spreadsheet template. Yes. I haven't made an announcement in the Discord, but I talked about it briefly last stream. But yes, definitely. If you haven't already migrated. Wait, what? Why is this broken? Does it only work if there's 10 in the spreadsheet? Pillboy, can you... wait, what? This should populate. It's kind of weird that it doesn't populate. Because not 10 games yet, but yeah, but the way I have it mirrored, or the way I have it set up, is it... That's so weird. Okay. I guess it needs 10 games. Bro's writing a novel of notes in there. It's really not. Like, these notes, by the way, guys, is like... This takes maybe 2 minutes max to write all this down. You just start thinking while you're in queue. It's really easy. It doesn't take very long. And I guarantee you, Pillboy is going to improve way faster than the guy that writes 2 words. Okay? Like, this is fine. Also, by the way, Pillboy, if you're one-tricking, for example, and you just write Cassidy banned, I'm totally fine with that. No big deal. Like, as long as 80% of the time you have genuine notes, then that's fine by me. I type one finger at a time. Yeah, like, keep in mind, like, if you are, I don't know if you mean that, like, I don't know if you mean that as, okay, if you have, for example, some physical issue that causes you to not be able to type very much or very quickly, and as a result, you only type a sentence, I don't care. That's fine, right? Just do it to the best of your ability, because keep in mind, the concept is not to have perfect notes and to record the exact events of the game. It's to get you to critically think. Joking, but I hear you. Yeah, I'm just, because there's gonna be some people that are just lurking, right? You just need to be able to critically think about your gameplay. That's all that matters. Congratulations, Benyo. You've been selected for coaching. Let's do great things. Did I run ads? I did. Good. Okay. But Pillboy, this looks amazing. Keep it up. This is climbing. This looks super climbing to me. Okay, I don't know if anyone else asked any questions, but hopefully I answered it if so. Benyo! I think we did Benyo last stream, so this is going to be a back-to-back for Benyo. That's pretty great. Check it out. Maybe it wasn't last year. Maybe it was like 2 streams ago. Benyo. Boom. Benyo and Kings Row. Let me also resolve this before I forget again. Okay. Masters. I think my macro was correct, except for one time I forgot to take the high ground on second point. I just got deja vu. I feel like I just read this, but that's fine. I think my main issue this game was timing, and I'd like to help understanding how my timing of the flanks could be better. I'm also not sure. Okay, before I move on, anytime people ask me about timing, like 90% of the time, the actual issue is awareness, which is why I say timing is an awareness problem. Okay? I guarantee you're probably not team checking, or you're not using sound cues or something like that. 2 streams ago, I see. I'm also not sure what the rule is for going top or staying low ground on second point defense. How many heroes that are able to contest me? There are enough to make me cancel the play. You should just, okay, Benyo, you should have a mental model in your head, and you need to use your critical thinking to basically determine this. For high ground on Kings Row second, but this applies to a lot of things. Like, for any given play, what do you think in your mind is the percentage chance that you die on that angle? Okay, so for example, if we're talking about high ground on second point of Kings Row, if the enemy team is playing a diva, okay, chat, drop me a number. If they're playing a diva, what do you think is the percentage chance of us dying on the high ground? I have a number in mind. The person closest to my number will get a ticket. What's the chance we die on the high ground if they're playing diva? This is defense, by the way. We're defense, and we want to play the high ground on Kings Row. What's the percentage chance we die? Yo, Tail, how short do you mean by short stream? This is the last VOD. I'm not gonna do any more here. 100%, 91 billion, 95%, 10. I'm thinking it's pretty much 90%. Yeah, I'll give it to Grom here. I think there's a 90% chance we die on the high ground if they're playing diva, because she's just going to boost her up and we die instantly. Okay? So I have a mental model. Okay, guys, new number. So now it's same situation. It's Kings Row, second defense. We want to play the high ground that's above the, and by the way, the high ground we're talking about is the high ground at the very first choke point. Okay? The enemy team is has no verticality at all. So they are playing, let's just say they're playing Dom, they're playing Ana, they're playing Mizuki, they're playing Soldier, and they're playing Bastion. Guys, give me a number in your head. What's the mental model that we die to this comp on the high ground? What's the number? What do you guys think? I need to give 57%, plus or minus 0%. 0%, 15%, 7%, 23.56%, 25 maybe soldier, outranged. Okay, either way, like, I want you guys to notice that no one, I mean, there's some people saying 6-7, which is like obviously ironic, but like, I want to point out that the kind of consensus is it's some low percentage, right? It's some low percentage. And notice that we are able to determine this, like, it's just like a mental model. You have a mental idea. Okay, so Benyo, you should be thinking, are they playing a lot of heroes that can kill me in this position? Yes or no? Do I think I can live the dive? Yes or no? Like, you need to just use your own critical thinking. I could give you a framework, but it's going to be way harder to actually figure out what to do from there. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Like, there's not a black and white answer. Like, I could tell you, if they're playing Diva in XYZ tank, you shouldn't be playing on the high ground. But it's going to be more productive for you to just use your critical thinking. Are they playing a bunch of heroes that can get to me? Do they have burst damage, so on and so forth? And then figure out yourself. And I know that's a little bit of a cop-out answer, but it's the kind of the truth in a situation like that. But anyway, yes, like the question you're asking here, how many heroes that are able to contest me there are enough to make me cancel the play? Like, just use your best judgment. Like, if you think one Genji is enough to stop you, okay, sure. If you think it takes a Genji and a Pharah, then okay, sure. Like, just use your best judgment. On average, you're going to be more correct than you think. Okay, let's look at this. Holy shit. What the fuck? You had a day where you played 27 games? That's a real grind set right there. Holy schmoly. Okay, here's what I'll say, by the way. As your coach, you know, I understand playing Overwatch is fun, but the problem is these days that you play 27 games, not only are going to be like really emotionally intense, right? Like, even though you don't feel like it, this is going to take a toll on you, right? But also, this is going to breed inconsistency. What we don't want as a player that's trying to get better is we don't want these bursts of like intense gameplay. Like, we don't want intensity. We want consistency. Instead of having 27 game days, I know some of you can't do this just out of raw time commitment, but I'd rather you have, instead of 27 game days, I'd rather you have like 8 game days, but every single day, right? No, I forget to change the date from the last day. Oh, I see. Okay, my bad. But yeah, anyway, my point still stands, right? I'd rather you not be intense, and I'd rather you actually be consistent. Do we know the delta that day? Not from this spreadsheet. He did link it, so we can actually just check. But it's not going to be accurate anyway. He just told us what was going on there. 27-0, 23-0. Yeah, exactly. Like, we don't want this kind of loadout here. But anyway, we play mostly Cassidy. You also play Widow and Soldier. Okay. And we only play DPS. We play a lot of games. We played, over the last month, we played 138 games. That's fine. Your Delta 2 here. -3 on Cass. Are you a Cass main traditionally, or did you just start playing Cass? These notes. Oh, how to dodge Weeying ults better. I was zoning Tracer well when they swapped the Soldier, which really challenged me. He's both mobile and has more range. Also, do you stack? I have a feeling... Oh, no, you don't stack. This is all solo queue. Unless you just copy paste. I suspect you just copied everything over from the old template. Yeah, this is old data. Just started. I think it was Widow 2. I see. Do you stack? I feel like this is giving stack vibes, but I could be wrong. Just click your mouse when there's a scroll. Tilted stoplight. Okay, notes look generally good as of recent. There's definitely, like, it seemed like earlier you were running into a lot, like, we shouldn't be having notes like this. Guys, if you don't know what makes a good note and what doesn't, please refer to the examples page of the spreadsheet. This gives you a perfect example of how to take notes for your games. I was always so like you. Okay, see. Okay, so the only point of advice I have for you on the spreadsheet, Benyo, is I need you to, every time you write down notes, just refer to the example game data to get a good idea on how you should be approaching it. Okay. And also for the questions, try to think of pointed questions. Like what I'm seeing here is not only do you queue a lot when you're losing, but also like we're taking 1-sentence notes. Like I need more from you. Learn how to take high ground on third point. What does this even mean? Like what is the context of the situation? Like you should be writing, I don't know how to take third point high ground on Junkertown into this matchup because of XYZ reason. Like start thinking about it a little bit more. You told me last time about notes. That's why recent are better. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So then this is kind of your key issue still. Okay. Because keep in mind, like the reason I'm beating you guys up on notes is because the reason notes are important is because even when you lose, you still, as long as you have good notes, you still benefit from the game. But if you have bad notes and you lose, there's nothing but loss. Okay? There's literally, unless you like limit tested that game and learn something, like there's nothing but loss, right? So you might as well take good notes because then there's still something to gain from losing. So that's why it's important. And that's why spreadsheeting is broken. Anyway. Enough spreadsheet nonsense. Let's get straight to business. Let's see here. King's Row from Benyo, and this is master. So I do need to change the thing to master.
Ready for battle.
Where is it? Boom, master now. Awesome. Well, if you're limit testing and lost, then not gonna lie, you should have good notes. That's like an ideal. Yes, exactly. Like, you should be writing stuff down. Like, there's pretty much no situation where you shouldn't be taking notes. Unless you literally forget or, like, you're a one-trick and your shit got banned. Then, like, I can understand it. But, like, 90% of the time, you should be writing something down. Are you going to play today? No. I'm so unbelievably tired that after this VOD, I'm definitely wrapping up stream, unfortunately. Sorry to say that, but it's finals week for me, and I got, like, 1 hour of sleep last night. I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. Next stream will be Friday. Okay, so we choose to play Hotel Hero, which is correct. Let me boot up King's Row. Let me get off Nepal. King's Row. Boom. Put me on attack. It'll be slightly faster on attack. Restart match. Is there any aim routine that you would recommend? I'm a new follower, by the way. Well, first of all, Mick Ding, welcome to Bug Nation. It's excellent to have you. Second of all, when it comes to aim training, literally, and I mean this in all seriousness, pick anything you enjoy that is either in engine, so in Overwatch itself, and just do it every day. Okay, so it's either in engine or it's like a routine on Kovacs or Aim Labs or something like that. Like just pick something and do it every day, and then do some research on what a good routine actually consists of, and then pick something. Like there's nothing in particular. If you need a code, just do, there's a community code NX7BZ. I highly recommend. I made an announcement on it in the Discord. You can check out as well. Okay, but anyway, let me talk about this real quick. Okay, I also don't really have a concrete answer there because I just haven't done the research and I don't know for certain. But yeah, just do something in engine every day, like Thanks 8, Vaxta, or NX7BZ. But yes. And just shoot them for like 10 minutes a day. But basically how you play the first defense on King's Row is you stand here, like you mark the choke like this, just shoot people, and then your idea is once they push you, you just roll backwards like this. Yeah. Super easy. But it's very important that you keep your back against the wall as you mark these guys, because your idea should not be to fight for this super aggressively. You want to give up this space. Always roll out right door, not left. You want to prefer the right door, yes. Yeah. The reason you want to prefer this door on the right side is because, I mean, there's not really a lot of really clear answers why, but it's more so that whenever they're walking through hotel like this, if they want to fight you on the right side here, if a teammate from main chooses to also help you in hotel, they're going to be swinging this door. You're going to be swinging this door. So now you have an angle advantage. You have two guys on two different angles shooting one guy in hotel. Like, if you're the guy in hotel and you're getting shot from both doors, like, what the fuck do you do ever, right? Like, for example, if I'm walking through this door and there's a guy shooting me from here and a guy shooting me from here, how am I ever supposed to play the game? Like, it's actually impossible. So if you roll back on this door and someone helps you from main, right? Like, you're just always gonna win the fight. Excellent. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to Bug Nation. Okay. Let's keep rocking. Okay, Dom walks through. We shoot the shield, we shoot the Dom. Whoops. Look how we're baiting hella resources on us. This is sick. Roll backwards. Our guy is almost dead. There's literally nothing we can do about it. Now we should be playing aggressive. Okay, get zoned. Unfortunate. Go. You need to go. Yeah, nice. Nice kill. Okay, I love this from you. This is the exact play I need. Actually, let's continue watching. Okay, you just win. Okay, never mind. This is exactly how you guys should be playing this angle. Okay, the only thing I don't like about this is the roll. No one is looking at you. Just reload your gun and walk, because for all you know, you get to this angle and someone turns and shoots you, you need to be able to roll away. Other than that, perfect. So he went for a quick TikTok break. Yeah, he did turn off his brain a little bit there. But Benyo, perfect execution on the angle. I love that from you. Nice job. That was the optimal line. Okay, shoot Dom. W team check. Shoot Dom again. W team check. Oh, we get the kill there. That's pretty sick. Why? 5 orb is brutal. Yeah, you end up re-peeking at half HP and it gets you killed here, which is kind of sad. Like, here, if you want to be technically correct, we shouldn't be re-peeking at 140 HP. You need to just stand here, get healing, and then re-swing the angle. You actually, you get punished for this and die. Right? Because you don't get healing. You could also argue your teammate should be healing you. Like, why are we not getting healing right now? Wait, why is this? Do I have this? Oh no, it's 8 seconds. This guy didn't have pylon up. Why did he not have pylon up? It got broken. Why did it get broken? What happened? It got broken by Sombra, who's on the high ground. How did Sombra get to the high ground? She was behind from last fight. So could you have prevented the Sombra from being behind from last fight, which ultimately killed your pylon? No, I think there's zero world where you prevent this from happening. Okay, so this timeline where you don't get healing is basically unpreventable. You needed to just not swing the angle. Let me actually see this from Bab's perspective. Why does he not heal you? Okay, he just doesn't land you. I really don't know why. He's also just reloading, which is kind of brutal. Brutal. You just die because of... This is kind of unlucky, but if you wanted to be technical, you shouldn't have swung with half HP. Like, that was the big misplay. It's a master support player. What else would you expect? It's always worth doing some investigation. Guys, okay, in this situation... Chat, what do we think? Should we go high ground? What do we think? What do we think? Should we go high ground into this team comp? Yes, go height. Hanzo already main. Yes. I think I'd have to concur. Right? Your Hanzo is not only already in main, but the only person who's going to be able to deal with you is the Vendetta. And the nice thing about Vendetta is when Vendetta has to take a high ground, she has to use her cooldown, her dash, right? So you know when you're going to get dove by the Vendetta. So you should just go high ground and then listen for the sword cooldown when she throws her sword, and then just take the engagement. You win those. This is what I talked about on the Discord submission? Yeah. Oh, you forgot high ground here. I see. Okay, I thought this was just a bad judgment call, but you forgot high ground here. Yeah. So by the way, I know you forgot high ground, but that's enough to make it losing. You needed to go high here. You had to go high here. Because you not only are you doubled up with Hanzo, but you could do everything you're doing here from the high ground, and you control more space. And then now, after the fight is won, you should be going to the high ground. So you not only forgot the first time, but you forgot 2 times in a row, because now you should be going high. Yeah, also, or what you could do as well is you could identify that they're not playing anything that's fast. So you could actually come left side and do something here. Like you could poke the Dom here. You could map flip here by doing this and then roll across with Deadeye here if you want. You could be getting super, like, this is a comp you should love playing into because you can just get active, right? Vendetta is the only scary hero on the enemy team, but you can do really cool stuff into stuff like this, like roll across, Deadeye, like, I don't know. This is where you should be expressing creativity right now, given that you're on the floor. The optimal position right now, for the record, is to play the high ground, because the advantage of this is not only can you shoot backline from here and you're largely unclearable, but you, more importantly, should say, is you stop the enemy team from using this space, right? So in this situation, you would be stopping a Zerdy KO, the Sombra player, from using the high ground here. Okay. Ven is a skill matchup in the cast. If you roll her sword throw and dodge that overhead, it's winning IMO. Vendetta is the exact same matchup as Genji, where if the Vendetta is on you before, if you don't shoot her at least 1 time before she's on top of you, you lose. Okay, so you just need to shoot her 1 time and then you're fine. And then that comes down to positioning. Are you in a position to be able to see her before she's on you? And if the answer is no, then you made a mistake. Okay, so because we're on the floor here, you failed the skill check twice, you get caught in the MP. And then now you're not able to match intense with your Malga and you die. And he dies in the fight session. So this fight's your fault. I know you made the mistake the first time of not going high ground, but you didn't just make it once, you made it twice, and you missed any potential opportunities of doing anything in main. So you made like 3 mistakes in one situation still. Routing here is sick. I actually love this from you. Your Malga's back now. He dies instantly, which is a little bit unfortunate, but whatever. The idea was fine. Yeah, I actually didn't mind that idea. Okay. Going into the next fight. We go high ground, surely. All right, now they're playing Genji Reaper. Okay. Okay, guys. Into Genji Reaper, Domina, Zen, Ana. Do we go high ground? What do we think? In this situation as well, the card is kind of pushed up here. Would we go high ground here? What do we think? No. No, just spawn camp to Zen. I don't know if I'm going high ground here, but I'm definitely not playing on this side of the map. Okay, and this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know the answer. Like, I don't know. Like, let's say the cart wasn't here. Let's say the cart was still in the first choke. Into this matchup, I don't know if playing the high ground is better or worse into Genji's Reaper. Okay, you would have to limit test. Like, if you went to here and then died to Genji Reaper, then you'd be like, okay, maybe playing into Genji Reaper on the high ground is not very intelligent. I literally don't know if it's playable or not. But my hunch is, at the very minimum, we shouldn't be playing on this side of the map, because the key issue is that this is space that you can't really control very actively as Cassidy, because if this fight is losing for you, like let's say the Reaper TPs and the Genji engages on you, your rotation out, back through main is pretty weak, and you're in the open with no cover. What you should be doing instead is playing for this alley side, and then to deepen your angle, right, if you need to, you would walk up the high ground and like map flip like this or something. I wouldn't be playing on the side of the map. I'd still go high ground, because you can take the 1v1 with Genji, but if they're 2 DPS, you're still good. I think you should prefer high into this matchup, to be honest. I don't know for certain, but I think it would be fine, because both of these heroes have cues on when they're going to be diving you. Like, you would know when the Genji's getting ready to dive you, and you'd also know when the Reaper's being able to dive you. So as long as you were a little bit preventative in your positioning, you'd be fine. So for example, let's say if the cart was still in this choke area, and the Genji jumps up the window or wall climbs or something, you'd be able to hear that. And the same with the Reaper. So you would just play like back here, so that whenever they do engage on you, you can roll backwards and you have enough time to be able to live. So you would just have to play the matchup intelligently. I think playing height is good if you know your team is going to look at you once you pull that attention, but with solo queue, I'm not sure that's reliable. It's not about if Okay, if you ever say something like, if you ever find yourself saying something like, only if my team knows to do XYZ, or only if my team follows up, you're thinking about the game incorrectly. You should be thinking about, on average, will a good teammate follow up from this play? And if the answer is yes, then you should do the play, right? Be rational about it, right? Like, there are times where it doesn't make any sense. So for example, like if I just run it down in main and I try to like walk through this Dom shield, for example, and fan the hammer on the Zen, of course that doesn't make any sense because I'm walking into the enemy team, and then what the fuck is my team supposed to do with that, right? But if you can say something like, just be smart, bro. I shouldn't have to totally explain the situation. Like, if your team can rationally follow up with the space you're making because you had good timing and they're already doing something that kind of makes sense, then just kind of make sense of it. Like, there's a lot of like the intricacy to it. I think, yo, TL, no hate, but Curie players and Masters are not real, but yeah, I just wanted to say that. No, they're fine. They're fine. Like, they wouldn't be Masters if they were horrible at the game. Like, it's fine. But I want to point out that you die here because you have no rotation out of this position. Like, if I know we went on a little bit of a tangent, but if you had played on the alley side of the map, you at least had a rotation out, right? You end up getting stuck here, which is exactly what I was talking about. The enemy team pushed their cart forward like this, and then they cut off your rotation. This is why you typically don't prefer this side of the map as Cass, because you have no ways to rotate out of this position that are safe. You typically prefer this side because at the very minimum, if the enemy team pushes like this, you can map flip. You can't really, you can kind of do it from this side, but it's a lot more awkward. So I don't, yeah, I didn't like the position for you. If they weren't good, they wouldn't be Masters. I'm not going to get into the conversation about what constitutes good. The average player will never even smell Masters. So for the sake of our conversation, Masters is good enough. Okay, will they play perfectly? Absolutely not. I roast all my Masters player probably more than any other rank that I get. But it's good enough. Okay. I like the idea here, but the problem is this is just too extended. I like the idea of doing a flank like this, but the way you do this on this point, Benyo, is not by walking all the way back up here and going for this window play. It's by just standing here. Because the cart is too far. If the cart was on this corner, this play is fine. But because the cart is all the way like toward the actual point cap, you need to just stand here and wait for the dominant to take space and then just shoot her in the back. So this isn't even really an awareness problem. You just kind of choose a bad angle, right? I don't really have a problem with this idea. I don't like, you limit test the idea. Now you know the timing was bad because the card is too far, right? Whatever. And then we don't kill the zone. I really don't care. It's no big deal. Keep doing stuff like that. That was epic. I mean that unironically too. Set the raw. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to Bug Nation. Dale, would you like more economics or coaching? I mean, they're basically the same thing, believe it or not. A lot of what I teach you guys is just, a lot of Overwatch is just economics. Because it's all about, what is my opportunity cost of doing this? What's the likelihood of this converting? It's all statistics in economics. How much value can you get on an angle? Like, the whole concept of doubling up is an economics problem. Because now you put two guys that occupy one resource, for example. Is there any world I could have stayed in that rat spot uncleared there? What do you mean? Like on the high ground itself, Benyo? Like, would you ever... Are you saying, like, would you ever stay on this section of the map? Okay. Do you mean position A or do you mean position B? No, on third point. Oh, shit, my bad. Okay, third point. Yes. So you could have stayed there, but only because you could have just stayed here, but only because two of your teammates died early. So staying here would have been fine. It would have panned out, right? If you didn't shoot them and they didn't no idea you were here, you could have just AFK'd here and waited for the cart to push. But if your teammates were alive the whole time, you should be playing for the corner with your team. Match intentions. Your VOD reviews got me to stop being a soldier main and getting flamed for it. Super helpful. I mean, you could be main whatever you want, bro. If you have fun playing soldier, just main soldier. Just be good at the hero. That's it. And then you get good at the hero by trying shit and throwing games, like unironically. But yeah, glad to have you, Seth the Roth. Glad you've been able to learn and you've been enjoying the content. I gotta go to work now, so goodbye, Bug Nation. You'll probably be over. Yeah, I will. Thank you for tuning in, though, Zeta. Much appreciated, as always. But yeah, we could have ratted here. Okay, you definitely could have because your team died early. And it probably, to be honest with you, would have been the optimal play as well. Go left side. Okay, you have Sky Noon. That's pretty epic. Okay, you should have taken the cat there, so it's a little bit brutal, but okay. Deadying from this side of the map is okay. The only issue with being here, I talk about it a lot on King's Row, is whenever you come out this left door, there's just not really a way to deepen your rotation, so now you're kind of just stuck. You needed to Sky Noon here because at least Sky Noon puts you in a position where you can do something. We're kind of just stuck here now. Oh, we have died. Okay, whatever. Go next.
One.
Okay. So on King's Row first attack, you have two ideas, basically. I talk about this every time, so I'm not going to go over it super in-depth here. But you either want to have the idea of coming right side of bus with the idea of walking into theater, or you want to come left side of the bus with the idea of walking to the choke and then crossing the statue and doing whatever from there. I don't want to see you guys walk right side of bus and then walk forward to hop your tank. The reason being, or cross their main. The reason being is because from here to here, look how far that is. That's like 40 some odd meters. And all of that's out of your effective range. If you don't know how long Cass's range is, you can hit F1 and it'll open up the info screen. And then you can hover over the gun and it'll tell you that it's 25 to 35 meters. Okay, so anything in like the 30 meter mark, we don't want to be taking fights in. And you can very clearly see if they played something like an Ashe, a Hanzo, a Soldier, a Sojourn, anything like that, you're just going to get outranged and take too much damage. And it's just not worth it, right? So you might as well just swing like this to clear this angle first. And then you can cross with your team so you're not at an angle disadvantage or a range disadvantage. Not gonna lie, when I use Skyneon, I feel like I'm him, but when I die to it, I get pissed. I mean, it's broken. It's really strong. There's actually just zero counterplay. I would push Diana. I'm egoing that. Nice team check, by the way. Okay, now we go high ground. No, go high ground. Go high ground. You need to clear the high ground. You know they're playing Echo. You just heard the Echo and she shot her stickies at you. What is the Echo gonna do? Eventually, she's going to fly to the high ground and try to control this space. You should go control the high ground before she gets there. Stop her from doing that. Or if she's up here, clear her from this position. You need to prefer the high ground and clearing it here. It's really strong for Cass. Yeah. Okay. I remember to take high ground a few seconds after I remember right. Okay, well, you need to... So this would be something to think about in your notes, right? We need to just think of, you need to just go there immediately.
Hello.
This is really good from you. And then now we go deeper in alley. This is awesome. Okay, I mean, this is really good. I think you're a Lari to give you angle. Why do you rotate away? You don't have cooldowns. You don't get the kill. Eh, whatever. Rotating away makes sense here. What just happened to the grab? What the fuck? What just happened? Oh, he shot at the wall. He missed. He like did a weird flick and missed it. Grab, okay. Whatever happens. Now we need to go back. Okay, so in situations like this, by the way, whenever boom, team check, you should see that the Domina is not dying instantly. You should just go back. You got your cooldowns back. Go back to the angle and open up a win condition. Okay, just rotate back here. I don't want to see you continue to shoot this guy. Or you should be popping Deadeye right now, either one. Who's she feeling like? I don't know, bro. This is the classic solo queue Zarya experience. Okay, I needed that Deadeye earlier from you. Or you needed to rotate back to the angle, but whatever, it's fine. Alright, whatever. The idea of fighting the Emre there is good enough. And this is exactly, by the way, guys, this is exactly why you should never buy the Fan the Hammer propaganda. It's because shit like this happens all of the time. It's so sad. Boom, Fan. Look at our crosshair. I mean, okay, I don't know if you should be hitting a lot of those, but I mean, it's just brutal. Like, if you didn't Fan the Hammer there and you shot him, I think the chance of you winning this is higher. Fan the Hammer propaganda will not be accepted in these sports. Dude, I can feel like the sickness overcome me now. Okay, shoot Dom. Okay, so we kind of, I'm not super opposed to you being here, but I'm going to be honest, I would have taken a little bit more risk here. You have to understand that this point is so bad for Cass because your flank here, like coming right side, is so weak. Because here's the problem. Let's say you get this someone to half. They're just going to unswing you like this, and then you'll never be able to kill them ever, right? Like, let me just show you. It's going to take forever to walk over there. But here's the thing. Like, if I shoot, let's say the Emre is here in main, and then I shoot him twice. He's just going to unswing me like this, and then I can't kill him. He's impossible to kill. Like, you can't do anything as Cass on this point. What I would have done here, knowing that Cassie sucks on this point, is walk forward, take a super aggressive angle like this, and just, like, ego whoever shows up here. Like, to be honest, because you're in a losing situation anyway, you might as well choose something high risk because at least there's an upside. You know what I'm saying? Like here, this is super, it's like low risk, like mega low reward. You're never going to kill people here unless they grossly misplay. And the higher elo you go, the less that people are just going to dry peek this for no reason, especially against a Cass. They're just going to play at the back of the map and do nothing and just win because Cass has no pressure, right? So I would have taken more risk here and actually pushed out more space and fought the Emre or something. It's not that this is bad, right? It's your second best play, but given that we're on a point where Cass is bad, I would choose something higher variance. Right, but you can very clearly feel that this kind of sucks. Okay, and then we lose. I hate 1v1ing Emre. Yeah, he's a tough matchup sometimes, especially when he just, I mean, if he just uses pistols and 1v1 and then you don't hit the flash, you just lose. How do you think they could fix this point, make the high ground more accessible? They need to add, how would they fix this point? If they added a window here, like, okay, if they punched out this door and there was a window here, this would fix the point. That would fix it, and then you could like do this, but then it'd be kind of broken. I don't know. Like I'd have to think about it. I've never actually thought about it before. They could also add like a Hollywood style elevator right here. Get to the high ground, but maybe that's OP. I don't know. As stairs to the high ground, I feel like it'd be too strong because the defenders wouldn't be able to use it. Like. Maybe if the high ground was, maybe if the stairs was on this side, like if there's an elevator on this side, but then maybe it's too defender sided. I actually have no idea. I'd have to think about it. Boxes, maybe. I'd have to think about it. I really don't know. I think my initial hunch is that you would punch out a window here, and then you make it like where you can access the window from here, because then the defenders could then use it and attackers could use it to wrap backline. So it would actually be like another lane worth contesting. That'd be my hunch on how to fix this point. How did we die here? Sorry, I was thinking about the map redesign. Yeah, I mean, you don't even really do anything too poorly here. It's just that this point sucks for Cass. Like, you're never going to be able to outvalue these people. It's such a pain in the ass. Okay, now we need to be taking space aggressively. We're up. Our tank is taking space. You also need to take space. Like, you need to be rolling across right now. Like, get out of me. Yeah, you missed your window. Now, because the card's gone, you can no longer roll across here and shoot backliners. You had to make that rotation. You didn't have an option. Now, the only thing you can do is stand in main and shoot your gun, which is all not good. Not optimal. Yeah, so you missed your rotation here. yeah, like at any point in these fights, you need to just leave, to be honest, come this way, walk up the staircase, and go here. Because the problem is you can't really deepen your angle from this position. You can't contest space very well. You're just going to get zoned out. And if you take a bunch of damage, you have to roll backwards and you're still not even in cover, right? If you come left side like this, at least you have cover, even if you take damage like this, and you can contest the lane. So we just needed to end up there. You had to end up there. Okay, you got carried that last point, which is very fortunate for us. Okay.
But we had a lovely talk.
Oh, I remember now.
Okay, so we play hotel again, which is epic. We love this from you. Let me run that back.
All right, let's move out.
Aiming head level. Boom, headshots. Okay, well, that could have been headshots, I should say. Your Hanzo's here. Your Hanzo is here. Why he's here, I have actually zero idea. But you need to identify that your Hanzo is now on the angle. We must rotate. You must rotate. Stacking DPS, even this is not even your fault, by the way. This is this guy's fault. But you must realize this and you must come in. You must. Yes, you needed to recognize that faster. This was too slow. Nice. Okay. And now we go back. Sure. Hanzo's no longer here, so we come to the angle. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, your Hanzo to this point. I think you played the rest of that fine. You could argue like you could have had slightly better target priority, but you just needed to not double up faster. Once you realized he was there immediately, you needed to rotate away. Okay, so this is sick from you. I love that you come use the high ground. Your team is fighting for the choke. Honestly, I think this might be whatever. Sierra does a lot of damage, man. I think the only thing about this is you could have rolled to the corner and then just used cover in the engagement. Like, the optimal play here would have been you get hit by Sierra, you roll to the left like this, and then you use this, like, you flash and then roll away from her, basically. Or sorry, you play the corner away from her. So I think you just kind of don't play cover here and it gets you killed because you could have unswung her and then like pre-fired the angle and prayed you get the headshot. Whatever. I actually don't really care about these kind of deaths because on average, I think you do well there. And your team actually ends up winning the fight. Like I want to point out here, even though you died, notice this. Okay, so let's look at this. When you swing the angle, which is now, which I think is like, or I guess now, which I think is relatively good timing. You pull the Sierra. The Dom looks at you and backs up as a result. She doesn't swing the corner. She actually backs up. And the Zen is looking at you. And the BAP is looking at you. You actually have the entire team looking at you, by the way. This is the power of good timing, for the record. And guess what happens as a result of this? Your Sigma is able to walk forward. I mean, he doesn't actually end up doing anything. But he could have walked forward if he wanted to. With full resources. And then it sets your team up to have a more winning neutral fight. It didn't actually matter that much in this situation, but it just pointing out that you pulled 5 there. If you had a slightly more opportunistic tank, which will happen on average, you are more likely to win that fight. Okay, it's a nice job. And also there's a chance where you killed the Sierra there as well.
One more mission, huh?
So I think that fight was fine. I actually didn't mind that at all from you. Okay. Come in. Sure. Did you walk outside, Buzz? You did, right? Yes, you did. Nice. Okay, cool. Alright, Zarya screens for us, so we come hotel. We don't have roll. We're baiting hella resources here. This is nice from you. We go back. Okay. Prediction flash here. I don't really mind you taking that fight. Yeah, I don't really mind the flash either. I think it's actually fine. Your Zarya is now in hotel. You work main. I'm actually fine with that. Then you go back. Love the flash. Love that flash from you.
Really underestimating me?
Getting stuck there is bad now. Getting stuck where? In hotel? Like for the hotel angle? I think he was fine. Unless you're talking about the high ground or something. Go high ground? Oh, they have a lever. I mean, where else would he be though, Pillboy's the thing. Like that's kind of the problem. So here, he pokes this, sure. His tank screens, so he walks. He rolls that, but he can't walk into hotel because he doesn't have roll. Right? So what do you do here? Like, I guess he could walk backwards, but then he's at risk to dying in the rotation to the Zen and the M rank. So he gets kind of scared and gets stuck here while he waits for his cooldown, which I think is kind of reasonable. Like, he just hasn't really had the timing to do it. I think it's not optimal for sure, but I think it's okay. Right? I think it's okay. He just needs to live because they're so backed up. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think as long as he didn't walk into hotel there, every other play was basically fine. I think the way he approached that was largely okay. And then continue rotating. Yeah, you just win. It's 4v5. You should just win this. Yeah. Nice shot. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Okay. This is a verdict losing for sure. Okay. So a few things from you. By the way, I want to point out you didn't really have any timing issues, which is I think what your note was. Did you say timing? I think my main issue this game was timing, and I'd like help understanding how my timing on the flanks should be better. I really don't think you had timing problems. Like, I guess maybe you could have, like, the only thing is maybe you could have waited slightly when you peeked this window, because maybe, like, you could argue maybe you should commit to them fighting in main and then you swing backline on unexpected timing, which is fine. Like, you could have said that. But I also think poking early to force them to turn for you so that your team can shoot them down main is also okay. I think the chance of you killing someone is high. I think I mistook the hard flank where cart was far for a timing issue. Yeah, this is just the cart being in the wrong place. This wasn't really a cart, like a timing problem. Like, you just kind of misread the situation. Like, the cart was really far. Like, that play would have been fine if the cart was at the corner, but the cart was in Narnia, right? So that play was just too extended. It wasn't really a timing problem. And then you kind of just had a bad third point because you never made the rotation left side like this. I needed that from you. And then generally on points where Cassidy is bad, either do super low risk stuff, kind of like what you did, or try high risk plays like this. I encourage you to do as much high risk stuff as possible on bad points. The CR death is whatever to me. Like, you could have played this slightly better, I guess. Like, I guess you could have peaked later. Like, that's the only thing. Like, maybe in your next time, like maybe the next time you play this map and you swing this window angle, you're just slightly later. Like, you wait for them to start actually walking to the choke and then you swing. I mean, that's the only thing you could try. I had no problem with that. But I thought the way you approached it was largely fine, to be honest. I didn't really mind it that much. And then also, every time you cap on second point, just go clear the high ground. Like, I don't want to see a fight where you come this way. It's kind of, I mean, it's not too egregiously bad that you came here, but I just prefer you go high ground because this wrap rotation like this is so unbelievably strong. So I would just prefer that. And then I liked your first attack and defense. I thought they were both largely fine. Just recognize when someone stacks your angle, like the Hanzo. You need to recognize it very quickly and then rotate your pressure. You were very good about it. It's for the most part, but it's just something to min-max if you want to start, learning more. Is there anything else? I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really have any concrete issues with the way you played. There wasn't like a pattern problem. I think you're on a good track. I think this map was just a little bit difficult because of the way you played the macro. But yeah, there wasn't any obvious signs of weakness to me here. Yeah, I wouldn't say there was anything in particular. Yeah, I'm sorry I can't give you like very particular notes on this. Nothing comes to mind on what you could be working on. I would just go back to the VOD and find like one or two things that I mentioned and then add that to your notes as something to consider. Also, look at this. Oh my gosh, I don't even remember these games. Green carpet, holy moly. Okay, that's gonna be that for me. Let me make sure I resolved the thing here. I did. Okay, I'm gonna open up a new raffle for 120 seconds. You have 2 minutes to just claim a ticket real quick for being here at the end of the stream. I really appreciate you guys being here. Let me add myself 10,000 tickets. Do not enter. If you enter, I mean, you're going to lose anyway because I have 10,000 tickets. But go ahead and claim your tickets, guys. Thank you for being here at the end of the stream. I appreciate it. I am exhausted. I would have go longer, but I'm so tired. I have to go to sleep. I'm so tired. Next stream will be on Friday, so definitely hang out on Friday. I'd love to see you guys. I do graduate this weekend, so you're not going to be hearing much from me. But what if I win? Honestly, that would be epic if you won. But yes, I'm exhausted. I'm going to be going to bed. Next stream will be Friday, so I'd love to see you guys then, and I graduate on this weekend. So the content fiesta is going to happen starting next week, which is going to be super, super, super exciting. I'm going to be streaming every single day. That means gameplay. That means more coaching. That means community events. I think I'm going to do some variety games. I'm thinking it might be maybe my Dark Souls arc. I've never played Dark Souls in my life, but I think that might be a good stream game. So I'm considering it. I don't know if it's gonna be Dark Souls. I might pick a different game, but I think I'm gonna do some variety, not like every day, but maybe once a week, because I'm gonna get tired of Overwatch if I do it every single day, always. So we'll pick a game and we'll figure it out. I might make it a community vote. I don't know, but yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking Dark Souls though, because I think it's a good like stream game. It's a good first timer game. I also have a good friend of mine that loves Dark Souls games, so I think she'd appreciate that. Stream every day? Yes, every day for 30 days, starting next Monday. Okay, so a week from now, it will be streams every single day for the next 30 days. Super exciting stuff. Wait, what? There's no way, right? No way. I entered the raffle, right? Crediting tickets 10,000 to Once Told Tale. Once Told Tale entered the raffle. No way. There's no way. What? Hold on, let's do the math. Speed, how many tickets do you have? No way, right? This has to be a bug. It has to be a bug. I think 9. Okay, well, if that's the case, you had a 9 in... like, what even percentage chance is this happening? You had a 0.09 percentage chance of winning the raffle. This has to be a bug, right? How many... Hold on. My tickets? I have 10,000 tickets, so I don't even know how... Maybe? Because I added my tickets after the raffle ran, so maybe it pulled... Maybe it thinks I have 0 tickets. I actually don't know if you legitimately pulled a 0.09% chance of winning or if it's bugged. Well, holy shit. With that being said, I will give you speed. I will give you 1. So first of all, I'm going to resolve this. Or sorry, I can't resolve. Let me reroll actually. Because I'm not going to... Let me reroll. Or no, it's redraw, right? Yeah, I think it's bugged because I would have won by now. Yeah, I think it thinks that I have 0. Yeah, it's definitely bugged. Yeah. Okay. Holy shit, because I would have won again. Okay, it thinks I have 0 here. Oh, it's bugged now. Oh, okay, I crashed. I actually crashed the bot. That's actually epic. New raffle. Express new raffle. 60. Hold on, we're running into some bugs right now. Everyone re-enter the raffle. Everyone re-enter. Everyone did. Okay, so the reason that speed won a second ago is because it thought I had 0 tickets even though I had 10,000. And it's because... Oh, I need to make a note of this. This is a note that must be had. Worminator bug. Worminator pulls tickets at time of raffle creation and not at time of raffle draw, which means that if someone is issued a ticket during the raffle initiation, it is desynced. Must fix bug. Okay, my bad, guys. Okay, so please claim a ticket. This is with the reward for being here at the end of the stream. Okay, I entered and I have 10,000 tickets, so the chance of anyone winning is like 0. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay, there we go. So thank you for entering. Let me resolve the raffle. So you guys have been added. Your tickets, Bashi. I will give you a sympathy ticket for missing it just barely. Add ticket. SHOW1. Okay. You're just not adding tickets, enough tickets yourself. Gotta add 1 more billion. Dude, Zeta, I don't know if you were here, but there was one time I added myself like 2 trillion tickets and I crashed the bot. We had an integer overflow issue and it just like broke the database and it like stopped working and it was a nightmare to fix. I had to force set myself to 0. Okay, but thank you guys for being here. Next stream is gonna be Friday. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate everyone being here as usual. Next stream is Friday. And I'm so excited for not this week, but next week. Extremely, extremely excited. Yo, Tail, check Discord. New Tail art by Squid just dropped. Wait a second. By the way, guys, wait. Before I check the new one, hold on. I linked it in general chat. If you have not, shout out Squid, the GOAT, actually, for this art. This absolutely insane art. Well, why is it not loading? Please, please load. Is my internet broken? Oh, so Vubi, you're Squid. Wait, actually, thank you so much. Wait, actual GOAT. Thank you so much. Hold on, actually, let me do this real quick. Is this gonna work? There we go. So Vubi, I've gifted you a sub. Thank you for the art. I really appreciate that. Now you don't have to suffer through ads, which is very nice. Thank you for the art, as always. I really, really appreciate it. If you guys haven't seen the art, holy shit. So hold on, let me look at the old one first. Actually, we'll look at the new one. This is fire. This is actually fire. Are you serious? This is actually so good. Oh my goodness gracious. This is so good. What? This is actually so fire. This is actually unbelievable. Holy moly. This one at the top is so good. All these are so good. I'm going to make these emotes. These are actually so unbelievably good. Wow. Thank you so much for making this art, Squid. I really appreciate it. And then if you haven't seen the old one, or this one is also fire as well. I actually really love the worm without the white eyeballs. I actually really like the minimalist black eyeballs. I actually love the way this looks. Like, one thing I really like from this that's kind of opened my eyes a little bit is I like the idea of the worm like seeming small. Because it kind of just like, I don't know, it kind of like sells the idea. Like, I kind of want to be perceived as a small worm. Like, I think it's just neat. But yeah, this is awesome. Need to add the hat and hair to the PNG for real. I kind of want it to be detached from Cass, but I love this as an emote. I'm definitely gonna make this an emote. Squid, I will be in touch. Not right now because I'm like, I'm so fucking tired. I'm about to pass out. But afterwards, I will reach out to you. But anyway, the razor drawing is fire. This is actually fire. I made it an emote as well. It's tail cat. I forgot what tail pack cat, I think is what I called it. Stickers. Yeah, here it is. Boom. This shit's fire. I always appreciate the art. Like, any art you guys do, I'm more than happy to make emotes and shit like that. It's so much fun. Thank you guys so much. I really, really do appreciate it. Shout out Squid, though. Thank you so much for the art. I appreciate it as always. But anyway, I am so tired. I'm about to pass out. So with that being said, next stream is going to be Friday. And I'm excited to hang out with you guys then. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up for today. And I hope all of you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye.